Hey everybody, Reefgrrl here, and welcome to Reefgrrl Live. I'm so glad you could make it. The whole idea here is to have some fun, chat, ask a few questions, maybe show us what you're doing, and get to know each other a little bit better. So sit back, relax, grab a drink. The stream is about to begin. Hey everyone, I guess I should actually add myself to the stream. Welcome on a Sunday afternoon. We already have 11 people watching and a bunch of comments over here in the chat, so I'll say hi to everybody. And I do have SPS Reefkeeper Ryan waiting in the waiting room, so hopefully you can hear me. I've unmuted my mic. I think everything's working. I feel so out of practice. Okay, so hey, Mr. DKH, Marco, that's cool that you're here. You're first today. Reefing with O. Hey, Reefing with O. Hello, Mr. DKH. Are you available for house calls? Yeah, there's a story behind that, right? Oh, maybe you'll come on and tell us all about it. That's hilarious. I guess I'll have to use BRS or Brightwell then, because Mr. DKH isn't going out on house calls. Broke Reef Man 45. Hello there, Paul. Hello, Cindy. Hello, all. Hope all your tanks are doing well. Cool. Hey, Dells Reef. Hi, Joseph Posada. B. Speeg is here. Hello. And there is Andrew Hudson. Hi from southwest of the UK. That's cool. Algae Warriors here. Hey, Garrett. It was so fun to talk to you last week. Was that last week? Time goes by real fast. Oh, good. O says he'll be in a bit, so that's cool. Hey, T40. I hope you're doing well. I'm going to remove this banner, and yep. If you can hit your thumbs up on the way in, it helps YouTube recommend the stream while it's live, so we might get more people. You never know. Okay. Hey, Lee White. Nice to see you. I'm going to bring Ryan in. And before I do that, I do have a couple of little announcements to make. My skimmer video, the skimmer hack video I was talking about, I have the Aqua Vitro Division 500. So if anybody out there is interested in it or has it, I've come up with a hack to get rid of that stupid filter sock. And it works. So there you go. I'm going to challenge CCAM to come up with something. In these days of 3D printing, there's no way they can't come up with something better than that stupid filter sock. Still no tank, but we do have a hole in the floor over here to my right. And the hole goes right through to the basement, and it's for the plumbing. Had to take out a tile, got out the jigsaw, and the wood underneath there, the flooring under the tile is an inch thick, just over an inch. Pretty amazing. So we're happy to see that, because it gives us more confidence that you could park a car in here, or when my tank finally gets here. Apparently, the LFS has notified the maker of the tank that he can ship, but that's all I've heard. And when I do the video about it, I've come to realize the problem with this wait. I'm not being impatient. I am not bugging the guy like some people would, and understandably, I knew this going in. I underestimated how stressful it would be not knowing. So that'll all be down the road in the video when I finally do have the tank and I'm able to actually show you guys something. And last week I said July 24th for the stream, which was yesterday. So I got my dates mixed up, but not my days. So I apologize if you were looking for a stream yesterday and I wasn't around. My bad, it was the 25th. So glad you're all here. And yeah, one more thing. Blue Carbon Reefing has launched a website to sell frags. And I'm going to put the address up here so you guys can see it. When you get some time, check it out. If you are on Instagram and you follow him at all, you'll have seen pictures of some of what he has to offer. Pretty amazing stuff. So I'm going to leave this banner up for a minute or two so you guys can take a look at it. And I've looked at the website, very easy to navigate, clean, elegant, and there's some fire on there at pretty decent prices. So yeah. Okay. Who else have we got? Oh, hey, BC. Cindy would be putting a trapdoor for trolls in that hole in the floor. BC. No, but I did check and make sure my cat couldn't fit down there, and he can barely get a paw through there. So, I mean, you know what cats are like. He would probably stuff his head through there and then get stuck. But the way we've got it set up, there's only an 1.5 inch gap in the middle, which is just enough for the spa flex piping, the flexible hose that's going to come up. So yeah, no troll trap. Well, it's not a bad idea. Okay, so I'm going to bring in Ryan. Hey, Ryan, SPS Reefer.
Hey, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Very well, thank you.
I'm going to put you full screen because
Okay.
what you have here looks pretty darn nice.
Mm-hmm.
Have you got colonies? Like, did you buy these as colonies, or have they grown that much? Wow.
Yeah, they have grown, some of them, yeah. A couple of them were bought as colonies, but most of them, like this sunset here, has just exploded.
No kidding, because
And I'm
when
like,
we saw this, like, I think it was 2 months ago, because I don't think you were on last time with your
no,
tank.
no.
Holy smokes, you're doing something
Um,
right over there.
yeah, that one there, that's a nice pink miller there. That's just, again, just exploded.
Beautiful.
Great.
Which were the ones you had most recently got?
There's that one there, which is that's sort of like my showpiece.
Beautiful.
Soap to me.
Look at those radial or axial, whatever they're called, coralites. Amazing.
Yeah. Sold to me as a rainbow millie, which I think it actually is, the way it's
Beautiful.
colouring. Um, the one at the side is a bubble gum. It's still got a bit of colouring up to do, but I don't know if you can see just how fluffy that coral is, but
Oh boy.
it
Look at
gets
the
better every day.
polyps.
Yeah,
I love
yeah,
I love the little threads at the end when they come out.
yeah. Um, that's one of the Indonesian maricultures that has changed colours. It's
Holy
getting
smoke.
quite nice. It's like orange tips on the end, and it's like pink. And just on the base there, you can't really see it during the light, but it's sort of like a yellowy green base. So I think
Yeah,
that's going to
we
turn out
can
really nice
we can
by the
see
looks
that.
of
I
it.
wonder if you've got potential for some bluish purple down the side there
Mm.
too. Beautiful.
The one at the back there is the rainbow tennis, but again, you don't really get the full effects of its colours. It's so bright in my room, it's hard to get them, but you can see the pink and green.
Hmm. Very
Um,
nice.
and then the one at the back's just starting to come back again. He did lose a bit of his colour, but I'll do a top-down view in a minute so you can see. But he's sort of like all sorts of different colours. So like a rainbow, if you like.
It's
But
there. You have many rainbows in there of
yeah,
different types. That's cool.
yeah. But that one, yeah, that's the sunset. That's really exploded with growth.
Nice.
But that's sort of like a view. So
Yeah.
yeah. Let
Wow.
me just turn that flow off so I can get a top-down view of it. I can have a better look at it. I don't know if we can get a proper view on this side. There you go. I don't know if you can see the colours of them top down, but
Very nice.
sort of gives you
I I always
an
find top
understanding.
down so hard because the lights are
Yeah,
reflecting.
that's it. Yeah. But yeah, it's doing really well. I mean, it's complete now. We're not going to put any more coral in there now.
Yeah.
We're just going to let this tank grow out.
Mm-hmm.
As you can see the scape, how they just look on the scape. They just look right,
Yeah.
rather
Yeah.
than just placed in.
And you know what, Ryan? I think that's a skill a lot of us don't have, knowing when to stop.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah. The LFS that I went to yesterday had a couple of nice pieces, but I just don't have the room for them, so I had to
Yeah.
walk away, which is something I find hard to do, but unfortunately you've got
Uh-huh.
to do, especially when you're happy with your tank.
Yeah. Well,
So
you might reach a point where you decide to upgrade, and
yeah,
you know what you're doing, so
Yeah.
then,
Oh,
you know, that gives you something to look forward to.
yeah. And I don't know if you know the top one there. That's sort of like my special piece at the minute. So the
Beautiful.
way it's looking, it's going to be a really nice millie when it colours up.
Yep.
So the sunset's starting to get its colour back. So yeah, they're all doing well. I do have a tang in here somewhere, but he's
I was
dead
just going to
spooky.
ask. I was going to ask you about that. You wanted a yellow eye coal tang,
I did, yes, and
and
I
did you?
finally managed to get one.
Oh, good.
He's doing really well. We're still gonna not put a fish in for another sort of couple of months just to be on the safe side, but he's a lot better. He comes out a lot more now. Even when I go near the tank to feed him, he's a lot better. But I don't think he likes cameras.
How long have
So,
you had him in there?
about 3 weeks, so he's still
Yeah.
new. He is getting used to me, but he's still very, very skittish. But it doesn't really matter. It's not about fish for me, really. But
You know, but they help you with a healthy reef, I
oh,
think.
absolutely, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Yeah, my Desjardins and the purple, I've had them for 3 weeks today, and just in the last few days, they've started to come right out and race to the front when they see me because they're expecting to be fed.
Yeah.
So it's taken 3 weeks for them to reach that point, and there's 2 of them, and sometimes I think when there are more fish, plus there's a clown and a royal grandma, they feel a little more comfortable coming
Yeah.
out. So yeah, sometimes it takes time. Very nice. So remind us again, you have a Hydra, an AI Hydra 26 on this tank?
32.
32,
I just
32. Okay.
32, yeah.
That's the new one. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Doing a wonderful job, as you
Yeah.
can see.
Yeah. Good. That was a good choice of light.
I wasn't sure. I was going to go for the Radions, but I was persuaded by my LFS to go for the Hydras, so I'm glad I did.
Yeah. Well, it's value for money, right?
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely. Yeah.
Nice. And then if there are viewers who haven't seen before, how do you run this tank? I can't remember if you have a sump or if you have a canister filter.
No, it's like a all-in-one in the back, so it's actually built in the back like the shop.
Right, right. That's right. I
So I don't
forgot.
know if you
Yeah.
can see it there, just at the back.
Yeah, I forgot
Very,
about
very
that.
simple. Goes through some filter floss,
Yep.
through one of the titanium heaters
Hmm.
from D&D, and then it goes through some Red Sea Respec carbon. I don't leave the
Yeah.
carbon in all the time. And then it goes through some of the max spec bio balls. So there's a
Yep.
bag of them in the back, and then literally just return them back. So there's no
Hmm.
reactors on it. I don't have any phosphate removes or anything like that. Everything's dosed manually as well. I don't have a dosing pump or anything like that. So
Hmm.
I dose it all in every morning. Same with the top off. It's all done manually. It's all done by me, so I
Yeah.
can control what goes in. You know.
Uh-huh.
Um,
And what pump do you use to run that?
it's an EI 1000 return. I've used them before.
Hmm.
I didn't want it too powerful because one of the issues that I had, my MP10, which is just there,
Hmm.
I had it on a very, very strong gyrotyl mode, but what I was finding is the SPS up there is actually getting hit that hard. It was stressing them and they were stripping.
Oh, yeah.
So what I've done is I've turned it down. It's actually on like a pulse mode now. It's only running at about 80%, and that seems to do the job.
Hmm.
So it was a mistake there, but we all make mistakes, I suppose, in the
It's
hobby.
how you learn, right?
It's how we learn, yeah.
Nobody can tell you
So
everything. And you have no sand in here.
just a little bit of sand there,
A little bit. Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
It does get displaced because of the amount of flow, but it keeps it lovely and white,
Yeah.
lovely and clean.
For
you know,
sure. That's the point, right?
that's it, yeah. Got loads of these trochuses in here as well that
Yeah.
have done a superb job on. We had a lot of turf algae a few weeks ago, and
Ah,
we
yeah.
put an army of these in there, and they've just cleaned it up superb.
Nice. I like
So
Trocus.
they're brilliant. Yeah, they really do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Oh, hey, DC Reefer. Welcome. Glad you can make it. Sunday afternoon must be a good time for you. This is really nice. And this is this a 40 gallon?
It's 116 litres. It's an odd
160.
size because it's bore fronted. Let me
Oh,
show you.
so
So if you look there, you can
that's
see
like
how bore fronted it is.
right. Yeah, I like the bow
Um,
front. It's 30 then, roughly,
yeah,
roughly 30
it's
gallons.
it's big enough for me. You know,
Oh
it does
yeah.
what I want it to do.
Hey, listen, tiny perfect reef. I mean, not that it's
Um,
tiny, but you know what I mean?
yeah, yeah.
It's a jewel. It has a lot of potential.
Oh yeah, some of the potential of these, especially this one in the centre there, the little one.
Yep,
That's going to be a really nice millie when it colours.
yep.
That's what I
And
like to do to get corals like that and colour them up because you just never know what they're going to colour up like, you know.
no, that's right.
So
And do you have any plans to start taking frags and trade them or?
I'm not really into that sort of thing. I just like to let them grow.
Yep, yep.
Um,
I'd be willing to bet at some point they're going to do so well that you'll need to cut them back so they don't kill each
oh
other.
yeah, yeah, definitely, yeah. If that happens, obviously I will frag them. It's not a problem. But
Hmm.
I just don't like to disturb them. You know,
Yeah,
I'm very rarely in the tank now. I mean, I clean the glass once a week, change the filter floss over if I need to, and that's it. I don't do water changes anymore in the tank. So I just found it were disrupting it too much.
yeah,
So I've just left it alone. As you can see, it's just
yep.
thriving now. So I very rarely do out to it. Really, I just dose it what it needs to
And
dose.
what are you using for the calcium alkalinity and all that?
I dose the Reefgrrl elements, which is it's a two-part dosing. So the first part is alkalinity, the second part is calcium, magnesium. It also has trace elements as well in there.
Yep.
Um,
And what is it again? Reef Z?
Reefgrrl elements, it's called.
Reef Z elements.
Yeah.
Huh, I haven't heard of that one.
Yeah, I mean, it was only one of my LFS that keeps a lot of SPS. He
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
recommended it to me, and he said
Huh.
it'll keep the tank really stable. So I thought, you know, I've heard it before, you know, with the products, but I thought, you know what, go on, I'll give it a go, and he was right.
Yeah, no
You know,
kidding.
since we started dosing it, the colours of the SPS and the growth have been stability as well has been superb.
Well,
So
especially as you don't really do anything else to
no,
enhance it.
no,
It's all in
that's
your
it.
two part. That's
Yeah,
amazing.
yeah, that's it. We do dose
Out,
a little bit of amino acids every now and then, but
yeah.
I don't do too much.
I think that's smart if you're not doing water changes. They've got to come
Ye-
from somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, I used to like doing them, but I just noticed in the SBS that they just didn't like it. I could just tell by the way,
Hmm.
you know, when I did it,
Yeah.
um, maybe a couple of days after, I could just tell. So I just stopped it completely, and they've just done so much better for it. So, you know,
And you know, that makes so much sense because if you think of the number one requirement for successful SPS, it's stability. So
yeah,
even if one or two components of your new salt water are different than what's been existing in your tank and circulating around, they're going to notice it.
oh
And
yeah,
it makes so much sense to me that that might be why SPS dominant tanks, people are reluctant to do, frequent or large water changes.
yeah,
That
absolutely.
really is logical.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think I've done a water change for a good 2 months now,
Yeah.
and it's just took off. Really has took off. Um,
Yep. Yeah, Algae Warrior says he likes the color variations.
thank you.
Very nice. And
Really
Andrew
nice.
Hudson is asking if you know what your par level is in here.
Do you know what? I've never, ever, ever tested ever. Um, I suppose I've just been lucky really with placement. But one thing that I do when I do bring a new SPS, I actually put it on the sand bed
Hmm.
just down
Yeah.
there, just to let it settle. Because what I was finding where I was bringing them in, I was putting them just where that one is actually,
Mm.
um, and they were just stripping or not looking good. So since I've been doing it that way around, where I've been putting them on the sand bed for a good 2-3 days. Then slowly, gradually moved them up. I've not
Mhm.
lost one since doing it.
Wow.
So it's something that I've learned. Another thing about SPS.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just unlucky sometimes, but since I've been doing it that way, they've just, I've not lost one since.
Hmm.
Um,
And how far is your light off the water?
uh,
Looks like it's about what, 12 inches or so?
yeah, I made the mistake when I first started putting the light really down to the water surface, and it cut them.
Oh boy, yeah.
So I have been gradually just moving it down slowly,
Hmm.
but we seem to have found that ideal length from the light to where
Right.
the SPS are.
Right.
I
Yeah.
can just normally tell.
And I'm guessing, do you run it at 100%? Any of your
Uh,
channels at 100%?
no, 83% is the most that I'll run it at,
Right.
which is the blue, the royal blue, the violet, and the
Mhm.
ultraviolets. They all run 83%
Right.
from 1 o'clock till about 7 o'clock, so about six
Yeah.
hours.
So that might
Um,
give people kind of an idea of, where the
yeah,
par might be. Because it looks like that the top of those that are growing is maybe 2.5, 3 inches below the water surface.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then in the morning time, it runs quite a little bit of white. At about, I think it's about 30% it runs, and we
Mhm.
do run a little bit of reds and greens as well in the morning time. So it has 6 hours of that spectrum, and then
Mhm.
after 1 o'clock in the afternoon, it just goes all blue, and that's when it's at its highest.
Right.
I did try it at 100, but I could just tell straight away with some of the SPS that it was just too much.
Yeah.
So I've
Yeah.
gradually wound it down. I did put it at 90, but again, I could just tell. So 83 seems to be the sweet spot really for them.
Yep. And I
You
guess
know.
the height above the water too.
Yeah, and I've always wanted like a tall skate like that,
Yeah.
but I didn't want to put it too close. So it's sort of a guessing game, I suppose. But once you hit that sweet spot with them, they just take
Hmm.
off. But you have to go
Yeah.
through a lot of pain with them sometimes.
Well, and I think too, it's one of those things where you have to kind of um, do it gradually and know what the steps, how long to wait between different settings to know if it's
Yeah.
going to work. Like you were talking 2 or 3 days, and I think that's another thing with patience, right? You have to give
Oh
it a
yeah.
bit. And if you see that they don't like it, that's a good reason to back off. But sometimes it can be hard to tell when they respond. It takes a
Yeah.
little while.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
does. You've got to have patience with SPS. I mean, it can be the most rewarding corals, but they can be so frustrating at times,
Yeah.
But it's all part
Yeah.
of keeping them, I suppose. I mean, it's not always
Yeah.
been like this tank. We've had a lot of issues with it, but we're starting to see it really come alive now.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been my dream to have an SPS dominated tank like this, so I'm glad
Mhm.
we're finally there with it.
Yeah. Yeah. No kidding. Algae Warrior, is that a Hydra on a Radion fixture? Oh, is the bracket
It is,
Radion
yes, it is.
bracket? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they're ridiculously overpriced over here in UK, but it is what it is, I suppose.
Not
You buy an
just
expensive
not
flight.
just there. Yeah.
Oh, but when I see
Yeah.
results like this, it doesn't really matter how much it costs. When I
No.
see results. I mean, I was talking to Michael from Aaron's Aquarium a few months ago now, and he said, just think of it as an investment, the price of a light. And he was right, you know,
Yep. Well, but
it's doing
I
a
mean, it
wonderful
doesn't.
job.
It's the AI lights. I think are good value for money because they're not cheap, but they're not ridiculously expensive
No,
either.
no,
Yeah.
no. Um, I mean, I'm thinking about building another structure just there
Yeah.
and putting another AI Hydra over it. So that
Yeah.
could be my future plans. But for now, it's just nice looking at this every day, waking up.
Yeah. Yeah. No
you know.
kidding. Yeah. Mr.
Um,
DKH says awesome nano tank. It's beautiful.
oh, thank you.
Oh, hey, Peter M. welcome. He's coming here from Croatia. I
Ooh.
remember that. That's cool. Yeah, this is really cool. I could totally see another structure, and then you'd have the dilemma of whether you shift this one over a bit, or put another structure close to it, or it's
Yeah,
hard. It's hard to
it
balance it
is,
visually.
especially when your tank's doing so well, you're just reluctant to do anything to it, which,
Yeah.
but I'm not in any rush to get any more corals
No.
now, I just want to see this tank grow out.
Yep.
Um,
Yep.
that mill is one of my nicer ones as well.
It's
Nice
beautiful
pink.
color. Yeah.
The tenuous at the back is. I've always been unlucky with tenuous for some reason. I don't know why. I can keep millipora, as you can see, it is more millies in here, but since I've just put the tenuous just a little bit lower down, you can see him just
Mhm.
colouring up really,
Yep.
really well. So
Yep.
that's another thing I've learnt.
Yep. So Ryan, Mr. DKH is asking, and I noticed this too. Is Aaron's aquarium, Michael? Is he still around? Or
No, I think something happened in his personal life. I
oh
think the
no.
last time I heard from him was, I think it was just before Christmas last year. To be fair, I mean, he didn't look a well guy at all. So
Yeah,
I don't know what was going on. I mean, I hope he's all right because he's a really nice chap. I've met him so
he
many
is.
times.
Yep,
I
he
went to his
is.
shop when he had his shop, and I've got all the time in the world for him. So I
Yeah.
hope he's doing okay. I hope I haven't
Yeah.
seen him on YouTube for it's about going on 8 months now, but so I
Yeah.
think he's just taking a break. I think from YouTube and
I hope so. And
you
in
know,
these crazy times, the first thing top of mind is the virus. Like,
oh yeah,
has
absolutely,
something happened? It just,
yeah,
oh, it's awful.
absolutely. So I hope he's all right. So he's a good lad.
Yeah.
He's a really nice lad. I've known him for a long time now. So
Yeah.
he actually came round to my house actually one day to advise me on the tank.
Oh, cool.
So he spent a good hour and a half chatting to me about things, and that's where my SPS journey began. To be
Yeah.
fair, so I've got a lot of thanks to Michael. So I hope he's
Yeah.
okay. If he's watching, I hope he's okay.
Yeah.
You know, big
Yeah, me
shout out to
too.
him because he's a nice guy. He really is.
Well, I
Yeah,
always enjoy his videos because
yeah,
I love his delivery. He's energetic, and not so energetic that it's scary, like
yeah,
some people
yeah,
I've seen, and always has a point to make. Like, yeah.
yeah. He's a good guy. Um, I'm fortunate enough to meet quite a few good people over here that have really helped me step
Yeah.
by step. When I've had issues with the tank, they've got more time for you. Especially one of my LFSs that I go to, the superb. If you've got any
Hmm.
issues or anything like that, they've got all the time in the world to help you out. So that's why I go
Yeah.
back there all the time. It's where some of
And
the corals come from. You know.
whereabouts in the country are you, Ryan?
I'm about 20 minutes from Manchester, so the
Yeah.
northwest of England I'm from.
Yeah, I thought I
Um,
remembered that, but I wasn't sure. I get kind of mixed up with the geography.
yeah, there's some good shops over here, some really, really good shops, but very, very knowledgeable people as well.
Yep.
Um, you get to know who's good and who's not,
Oh yeah.
um, especially knowledge wise. I can just tell when I ask them a question, I can tell if they're really, really up on SPS or they're not, or they're just taking an educated guess,
Yeah.
which something that I don't like. If you don't know, then it'd be nice for them just to tell me that they don't know rather than guessing. And
Yeah.
if something goes wrong, then it's their head on the line. So you get to
Yeah.
know that with the shops you go to. So I only go to a couple of shops now who I know are very, very good. Yeah.
Well, you've got the business card, you've got the results to show
Oh
it.
yeah,
So that's
definitely.
that's great.
Yeah, yeah. I just let the tank do its thing. I don't bother it. I don't. I used to always have my hands in it when I first started, and that was a no-no. But I very
Yeah.
rarely touch it now. Very, very rarely. I'll dose it like I need to do every day. It only takes a couple of minutes for me to do it, and then I just let the tank do its thing.
Yeah, I think you can do that when you have corals that are affixed to your scape and encrusting. It's a little different when you have loose corals that are maybe solitary polyps or maybe on rocks on the bottom, and you're constantly rescuing them from wrasses that are flipping them over. And yeah.
Especially these guys, these trophy
Oh,
snails. I mean, I'm glad they're all glued down because they're all over the base at night, and I'm
yeah.
so glad they're glued down. It's a nightmare when they knock something off.
Uh-huh.
And they just, but there's about 10
Yes,
of them in here.
I learned from turbo snails. I have my own technique now for fastening corals down, and it's more than just glue. It's putty as well. Glue, then putty, then glue, because turbo snails are just awful for that.
Yeah, it's certainly thriving. There's not two ways about it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's not been easy to get to this stage anyway. We've had to go through a lot of pain and suffering. We're losing corals as well, but it's all worth it in the end, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah, algae warrior putty sandwich. So just looking at your scape there, I wonder if you could venture into deep water acros like red dragon or something, because you look like you've got some good spots around the bottom where you've got an upper face, like little shelves sort of.
Yeah, there is a really nice shelf just there. So yeah, it's a good suggestion. Yeah, red dragon. I've never kept one actually, to be fair.
Yeah, I've tried, but I'm pretty sure I killed it with light.
Yeah, I'm big into the millipora, so that seems to be my coral at the minute.
Yeah.
But I do like the tenuous as well, the rainbow tenuous. It's getting better every day. Since I put it lower down, I always used to keep them high up, but I was never successful with them. So I thought I'll try it low down, see how it does, and doing really well. Really well. Can't really see its polyp extension. Polyp extension's really good.
And it's subtle, isn't it? I mean, it's only a matter of a couple of inches, and it makes all the difference.
It does, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Or Suhersani. Garrett, you talking about deepwater acros, Suhersani? I haven't heard a putty sandwich called that, so I'm thinking you mean deepwater acros. Yeah, there are a lot that are coming into availability now. And some Monteporas too, although I don't know if you would want to keep Montes in here because they grow so fast. It might,
Yeah, I have had a Montes in the past, but they're just not corals that I'm into anymore now.
Yeah.
It's more milliporas for me now.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, they sure are available in some crazy colors.
Oh yeah. Yeah, the ones that I was looking at the other day were just stunning, but I just don't have room for them. So it's the first time that I've had to walk away, I suppose, from two corals that I nearly bought them, but I thought no, I don't want to ruin the scape or anything like that. Or I'm really happy with the way it's going now, where all the corals are placed as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can see. But the sunset, yeah, that's certainly one that's grown very quickly.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, it blows my mind because I remember when it was half that size.
Yeah. Managed to get the nitrates back up to 5 now, so that seems to be the sweet spot for the tank.
Yeah, I managed to get the phosphate in my system plummeted to 0 again. Wow. So I had to dose some phosphate because I've been testing a lot more frequently just to see what the stability is like. And I probably should have tested before I did the last dose of the Elimifaz. I've been putting five mils in 3 times a week, thinking that would control them to around 0.07 ish. And unfortunately, it plummeted them down to 0, according to last night's test. So I threw in some Tropic Marin Elements P last night, and I'm going to test again tonight and see where it's at, because I have no idea how that affects it either, because there's so many dynamic changes going on, how much I feed, how much the fish poop, the algae, like you just don't know. So got to keep a close eye on it.
Yeah, definitely.
Andrew Hudson is asking, are larger SPS better to buy than small frags? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, I have a theory on this. What I found with especially small frags that have either been cut from the colony or have not settled or based out, I tend to find is very high risk. So I would always buy a milli or an acro that's based out and it started to colour a little bit.
Yeah.
I would never ever buy a frag that had just been freshly cut from it and just shoved on a frag plug. I've been there, I've done it, and I find it just to be very unsuccessful because you've not give the other coral time to settle. Or what I find is they'll either do 2 things: they'll go brown, or they'll strip. So yeah, I would always buy them sort of mini colonies, or even good maybe 5-inch frags that are butter based and have nice polyp extension and have nice colour. I would never ever take the risk of a browned out coral, if you like, and put it in. Sometimes you can get successful, but I find it too much, especially with little frags that have just been freshly cut.
And I think because you have such limited real estate, you really have to be picky.
Yeah.
And make the most out of the space that you have.
Yeah. I just find it to be a big risk to buy a frag that's not based out or they've just been freshly cut. I just found it over the months that I've been keeping SPS that it just doesn't do. They just don't do well.
Yeah.
I mean, some of the little mini colonies. So that one there's what we class as a mini colony, but it had really nice colour and it had actually based on one side where it's based now. So I was happy to take that home. But I would not take the risk. I would just buy a small little frag that's spaced out, got nice colour, put it in your tank, and see how you do it for a month.
Yeah.
It may do well, it may not, but
basically you're giving yourself a bit of a head start.
Yeah,
without breaking the bank.
Exactly. Yeah, because it's soul destroying if you buy, like, I don't know, for example, a milli like that, which is the sunset, and you put it in, and within a couple of days it loses its colour, it strips, it's soul destroying, and you just think,
tell me about it.
Yeah, I've gone through it.
Yeah.
I've gone through it, unfortunately. It's not nice, but over the months that I've been keeping SPS, I've learned so much about them with frags and picking the right ones. So I'd be careful about buying little frags that are not based out. I won't go near them if they're not based out. That's just the way I do it now.
Yeah. Algae Warrior is asking how you handle flow. I know you said you have the Eheim 1000.
Yeah.
And do you just have a straight nozzle on there?
Yeah, just the standard nozzle. I was going to put a random flow generator on there, but it does the job. I mean, when I used to have Euphilia there, it was quite nice and gentle. So it does the job, but the main flow is from the MP10, which is
MP10.
Let me give you a good example of what it's like on the surface.
Oh yeah.
So there you go. So you can see plenty of surface agitation.
But
not too strong where it's going to strip the flesh off the millies. I learned the
Yeah.
hard way. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
Don't
always
we
the
all?
colonies as well that you don't want to lose. But
Yeah.
it's a learning curve. I've learned a lot about SPS, and I know quite a bit about them now. I
Yeah.
understand them a lot better.
Hmm.
You're gonna go through troubles with SPS. It's just the way it goes, I suppose, with them. But I don't do anything different. I dose the same amounts. I don't change things like with the lighting schedules. I just
Hmm.
let it do its thing, and that's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Um,
Oh, hello, SUV porridge. Welcome. So, what do you keep your parameters at? Your alk, calcium, and all that?
so I do keep things a little bit lower than most people would. So alkalinity I keep at 7.7,
Yep.
which would be a little bit low to some people, but again, since we brought it down, we can see good colour. My calcium again, a little bit lower than some people, so it's 375, 375.
Yep.
Magnesium, I don't really test it, but last time I tested it was 1380.
Yeah.
Um,
See, I have a theory about that. My theory is slower, hardier growth is better than fast, weak growth.
oh yeah,
And
yeah,
and the thing that happens I've seen so often in tanks with really high alkalinity, for example, because that's usually the parameter people talk about, is they get stretchy white tips and the tissue has a hard time keeping up with that. And I really think those are the tanks that run into problems with low nutrients because there just isn't enough for the coral to build the tissue to keep up to the skeleton.
yeah. I mean, I used to run this tank. I don't know if you remember when I first come on. I used to run it at 10.
Yeah.
Now, I had good growth, but again, colour wise, we're just far off it. So I've
Yeah.
gradually brought it down.
Hmm.
And 7.7 seems to be the
Hmm.
key.
And that's natural seawater, pretty much,
Yeah,
right?
yep, yep.
Yeah.
Nitrates I run at 5 now, and then my phosphate we're at 0.07.
Yeah.
So
Good
you
target.
know, I just
Cool.
everything seems to be stable. I mean, I don't test the tank as much as I used to do. I do it once a week now,
Yeah.
and then I tend to do it at the end of the week so I can see what's happened.
I
If the
just saw your
parameters gone
tang.
up or oh yeah,
Yeah.
he's coming
Yeah.
out
He just
gradually.
peeked out. Yeah. Yeah,
Just
that's
coming
a
back
good
in
that's a
for
good point because then you can watch it over the weekend and make sure it's all good if you make any changes.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, any changes that I do make to it, I do it very slowly.
Yeah.
Um, you
Hmm.
as a reefer said to me, slow and steady wins the race. That's something that
Exactly.
I've gone by.
Yeah. Yeah.
Little things like that.
Oh, we've got Algae Warrior in the waiting room. Let's bring in Algae Warrior. Anything else you wanted to tell us about before I bring Garrett in?
Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, bring him in.
All
Nice to
right.
see someone else's tank.
Cool. Cool. Thanks, Ryan.
No worries.
There he is. Garrett,
Hey.
Algae Warrior. Nice to see you.
Yeah, good to see you too.
All right, let me change this there. That's better.
No.
So what's new and exciting this week with you?
Well, I did the huge water change on this one as like a kind of a ending to the fluconazole treatment.
All
And
right.
um yeah, it looks a lot better. All the rocks clean. And as I was so this one had like a lot of bubble algae in it too. And the fluconazole seemed to weaken the footing of a
Yep.
lot of them, and I was
Yep.
able to just brush like a whole bunch off.
Cool.
And right before I did the water change, so they're all kind of on the sand bed. And then I just like I think down here you can still see it. It's
Mm-hmm.
just like covered in bubble algae. So um, that was kind of what went on in my tank. I ended up finding a bunch of zoas up in this rock that I thought I had lost, but they were just kind of like hanging in there, waiting for their time for the bryopsis and bubble algae to get out of the way.
Yeah.
So, and then in my other tank, I thought I had lost these zoas. My lights aren't on right now. It's still like 10 a.m. But I found these zoas that I thought I had lost down in the sand bed.
Oh.
And they've just been hanging out there. And so I thought I had lost them altogether. I was kind of bummed out, but I found them.
And
So.
did you find them because they were glowing in the blue light?
Yeah.
Yeah, that happens to me a lot. Yep.
Yeah, I was just kind of looking around my tank, and then I put the flap up, and I was like, saw a little speck of blue. They're like I think they're like a frozen hornet or something.
Oh, yeah.
So they have like the blue with like the yellow around the rim. But yeah, I was super stoked about that.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Well, I have blue-eyed blonde, and when I was looking at pictures of the reef when it was in the 90-gallon holding tank, I went, "Oh my God, those things were doing so well just before the move," and I couldn't remember seeing them in the current holding tank. So I went looking for them, and it turned out that the rock they were on was really close to where it joined to another rock. And those two pieces came apart, but they didn't get put close together when I put them back in the new holding tank. And sure enough, I found them. There aren't as many as there were because I think there's not the same light levels there, but I still have maybe 15 polyps, something like that. So
Oh, wow.
I'm really looking forward to getting those into a position where they can grow again, because
That's awesome.
they were doing really well, and they look cool when they're in a big mass.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the two rocks up here are starting to grow. I'm gonna go ahead and turn on my light. Let's see here. And then I put that Aquinia leather in there,
Mm-hmm.
a little Tenularia, just to see how it's going to color up.
Yep.
Oh man, that's blue.
Oh, Hanson Victorio. Hi from Indo. Cool. Glad you could make it.
International.
Yep, sure is. Have you got like orange glasses or anything?
Yeah, let me go get those real quick.
Look at the polyps on that Sinularia. Holy smokes.
It's happy.
You're very happy. And this is the one you're experimenting with. That's cool. Let's see what else we got going on here while Garrett gets his glasses. Oh, there we go.
Oh, much better.
Love the green tint on that
Yeah.
thing. Very nice.
So this was in the nursery over there, and then I just decided to kind of put it over here to kind of color it up a little bit before it went to the shop.
Nice.
But
so is
yeah.
this one of many that you have then?
Yeah, I have probably about 10 other frags that I'm working on right now.
Cool. Yeah, it's not very common. You don't see the Sinularias around too much anymore, at least not where we are.
Yeah, like one of my LFSs won't even take them anymore, but
Oh, really?
yeah, so I don't know. I mean, maybe they're just kind of being snobby because they're kind of like a upper echelon type where they get
we don't have beginners here.
Yeah, right. Yeah, they're getting all these like they're getting like 3 to 4 endo shipments a week.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like completely full. So they got all sorts of like, these crazy master schoolies and I've seen a couple of, big acanthophylias in there, and so.
What sort of prices do those things run where you are?
So the last one I asked them about, it was about 1,600.
And is that for a scolia or an acanthophilia?
Acanthophilia.
Yeah, they're a lot.
Yeah.
I covet an acanthophilia. The only way I'm going to get it is if I trade enough frags in to cover the cost.
Right, exactly.
I cannot afford that.
Or you find like some like sort of crazy tank breakdown where it's
Yes.
like, I gotta move quickly. Please take this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I don't move in those circles, and usually the people that are connected to each other get all the good deals.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Yeah, it's tough.
So now you get to start all over with clean rocks and everything's looking good.
Yeah, I'm excited about this.
It is exciting.
Just because like you walk by your tank every single day, and like when everything's just covered with that hair algae, it kind of brings you down, and it
It
puts you in a
does.
bad mood, and you're like, I don't even want to look at this tank.
Yep. Yep.
And
you
yeah.
know that you're the only one that can deal with it because of the action that you have to take. There's
Yep.
nothing that eats bryopsis.
Nope.
It's really hard to kill it because it survives on very little in the way of nutrients and light. And it will kill everything if you don't do something about it. But the chemical treatment always makes me hesitate because I don't know what else I might kill, right? So
yep.
but I think I'm going to have to do it on my system because I do have bryopsis. I don't know where it came from. I really haven't got that many new corals. It could have been in there already from, a year ago.
Yeah, it could have.
And it just didn't do well because of where it was. And now all of a sudden it's getting more, I don't know.
Yeah.
And the way I look at it, right now I'm running 265 gallons in that sump. So it's going to be way cheaper to treat it now before I add another
than to try and get it into a big system.
I know, right?
For
sure. So I'm seriously thinking of just ordering some fluconazole if I can still get it. I do have enough for I think 100 gallons already, like in my medication cupboard. So yeah.
Yeah, and it has like, so when you try and rip it out, it has like really deep roots too.
It does, yep.
So manual removal doesn't always work. And,
No.
Sometimes it'll help if you scrub the rock, but sometimes not.
Yeah.
And like, I've heard Mike Paletta even say, I tasted bryopsis and it tastes terrible. So I can see why the fish don't like to eat it.
Well, and the thing is, the only reason manual removal is important is so that your corals don't get engulfed in it.
Yeah.
And even then, you can't always keep it away. But what I found is if I let it grow a little bit, turn off all the flow, I can pull out huge plumes of it. And at least it gives my corals some relief from it, and that's the only thing I can do until I can get some chemicals to some fluconazole. And I'm going to use the real stuff. I've heard Reflux kind of works, but
yeah, that's what I used.
Yeah. Also, it does work. Okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I lost this scolie. There was a little button scolie on this rock right here.
Oh, that's too bad.
It just got covered.
Yeah.
And it was I think that was like probably the toughest loss for me when going through all this with my other tank, because like I got that scolie for like $40.
I got mine for 45 in 2015. And apparently, according to my LFS guy who was here, I don't know how serious he was, but he said it's a $3,000 coral now because you can't get them anymore. And I mean, I love the thing. The money doesn't mean anything in that context because it's one of my absolute favorites. It has survived hell and high water, multiple tank crashes. It just keeps coming back and keeps going on.
That's awesome.
But that's just crazy to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's something that you would like never sell. you know,
No, no,
but it's kind of
exactly.
cool to know that, you know, it's worth that much, and you
Yeah.
have a piece like that.
But in a way, it's like, "Oh, I don't know if I should use fluconazole because I might kill it." But
Yeah,
no, I've used fluconazole probably at least 4 times since I've had it, so it's been fine.
yeah,
Peter M says the price of acanthophilia in the US and the EU is insane, and the prices in Australia is so much cheaper. So jealous. Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I think freight too. I mean, freight has gotten ridiculously expensive because it's more scarce, and just everything from the pandemic has made that kind of thing increase in price.
Yeah, I think freight shipping is almost tripled,
Yeah.
as far as container wise going back and forth. Australia is super lucky. They have the Great
Yeah.
Barrier Reef right
Yep.
there,
Yep.
and you know everything's set in place right now, and they can just get whatever. But what I heard from First Time Reefer TV is that they can't get any imports, so they can't get
That's
anything
right. Yeah.
from like Indonesia or
Yeah. Yeah.
Vietnam
Australia's
or anything else.
They're very, very protective of their borders when it comes to anything alive, like livestock of any type, plants, um, any of that stuff.
Yeah, kind of like California in the States.
Yeah. Yep. Cool. So now you've got this tank back. You've got a lot of real estate. Do you have any plans for that?
I need to put the digitata somewhere, and I was kind of thinking like up in here somewhere, but that's where like these clowns have been kind of like preparing their nest.
Oh,
So I've been a little hesitant.
yeah. They'll knock it off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and they're pretty strong too. They're not like babies or
Yeah.
anything.
I have a
So,
video on my YouTube channel about showing my clowns, the other pair that I had, the Darwins, actually flipping over and getting a trocus or a turbo snail off the glass.
oh my gosh.
And my turbo snails were the size of hamsters.
Yeah.
And then I've got
Oh
another
man.
one where they're attacking a Halloween hermit crab and drag it away. Like it's just clowns
Oh
are
my
nuts.
gosh.
And they were gentle little souls, but man, they got vicious when they started to lay eggs.
Right. Yeah, that's what it's kind of like how, because my girlfriend loves these clowns and she wants to breed them and everything. And so she wanted all the other fish out,
Mhm.
and we're going to try and take all of them out and the rest of them and put them into her tank.
Mhm.
And as we were doing that, I had the lid off, and we are trying to find them and all the other fish, and the lights went out, and she heard like a splash and was like, "Hey, I think one of the fishes jumped." And I'm like, "Well, if anything, it's that 6 line, which is kind of cool because that's the hardest one to catch."
Yeah.
And the 6 line had jumped out of the tank, and it was like over here in the
Oh
corner,
man.
just flopping around. It had some cobwebs on it and stuff. So I was like, "Oh shoot." So I picked it up right away and tried to get as much off of it. But after that, that was like a little traumatic. So I'm like, I'm gonna leave all the fish in there for now, and I really don't think that you know these other ones will bother the eggs that much because
Yeah. No, the clowns will protect them. I know some people will put a clay pot or a tile
yeah, I saw
somewhere.
Remy do that. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah, and then that way you can remove the eggs. Once the clowns have groomed them and looked after them, you can remove them and allow them to hatch in a safe environment that doesn't have the same type of adverse conditions that a regular tank has, the flow and all that kind of thing.
yeah. I think we even have some like of the smaller clay pots that
Yeah.
might be able to fit in this tank.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm putting that project on her because I
Yeah.
know I know how much goes into it, and I really don't want to deal with culturing phytoplankton and rotifers and
Yep. Baby brine and
baby brine. Yeah, I'm already doing baby brine, so
oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Well,
So
I
that's
don't
kind
know.
of
I
like set it and forget it, but I want to
yeah.
make sure they have rotifers too.
Yeah. It's one of those things that I always found fascinating to watch and observe, but I never had any illusions that I would be able to raise them or even provide conditions in which they could be raised. So I just let nature take its course and
Right.
yeah.
Yeah, and I've
Oh,
seen a lot of people where it's like, yeah, these will spawn like every other month or so,
hmm
and I can't really do anything because they put them in a hard spot, and they end up getting eaten by the
yeah.
other fish.
Yeah. As soon as they hatch and they're
Yep,
free. Yeah.
yep.
Oh, hey, Marcus Aerolis 187. Welcome. Yeah, it's one of those things. They become fish food, unfortunately, and even if they didn't, they'd go down the overflow and get stuck in the filter socks. And
Yep, yep.
even the mollies when they had babies, it was pretty rare for one to survive without some kind of intervention from me. And I finally had to stop intervening because I was ending up with all these mollies.
All the mollies, yeah.
I mean, I got pretty good at raising them after a while. I knew what to do and when and all that kind of stuff. But what
Yeah.
the heck? At one time, I started Mollywood with about 40 of them.
Oh,
So,
wow.
you know,
Yeah.
and now we're down to two, and they're both females.
So no more breeding.
No more breeding. Nope. It was fun while it lasted, but I probably won't do it again.
Yeah. We bred this Bangai.
Oh,
We bred some of those. This one had a partner, and we saw like him have like a huge jaw one day, and yeah, sure enough, it was a clutch of about, I want to say about like 15 babies.
wow.
But yeah, I had to kind of pick the male up and put him in the little. I had like a little suction cup mesh deal to put on the side of the tank for the babies,
Yep.
and so I had to kind of pick him up and like turn him a certain way so he would spit them out into the net. But it came at a bad time because we were in transition of moving,
Oh, yeah.
and I wasn't able to feed them like the baby brine because they were eating them no problem, but I think I didn't have time to it was just a standalone tank, and I didn't have the time to make sure that it was topped off right, and I
hmm
think the salinity got a little high, and we're moving and stuff, and they just perished. And we had a suspicion that one of the Nemo clowns was coming, uh one of the clowns was coming on the around the net and like picking them off through the net,
Oh,
but we couldn't find any, we didn't catch them in the act, but we just had our suspicions, so
yeah. Yeah, so many
it's
things
tough.
happen.
Yeah, and then I think the female got angry and she ended up starving out the male bang-eyed cardinal because he just got super skinny, withered away, and
Yeah.
he wasn't really eating. So
Yeah, I've read that if you have cardinals, you should have, I think it's more than one male, because if there's a male and a female, the male will constantly be brooding. And eventually, because they don't eat while they're brooding.
right, yeah, they
And
can't.
yeah, so in order to breed them and keep males alive, you pretty much have to have more than one, so that at least one or the other will alternate.
Right. Okay. Okay. All right. Yeah. This time it's your turn to hold the eggs there, Jim.
Kind of, yeah, that's kind of how it works. And with mollies, you can't have a male and a female alone because the female will be constantly harassed pretty much to death.
By
So
the
you need,
male?
yeah,
Oh.
you need two females if you're going to have a male. You can have one male or one female or two females and one male or multiple females and one or two males. But the ratio should be roughly two females to one male if you're going to keep
Oh.
multiples. Yeah,
Okay.
I learned that. Oh, hey, Ryan. Ryan says, have to go now. Cindy, thanks for letting me showcase my tank. Really enjoyed chatting. We'll be on the next global. Thank you, Ryan. I really, really enjoyed seeing your tank. It looks amazing.
Me too. Thanks, Ryan. It really did look good. I
Yep,
love
yep,
seeing, big, beautiful Acropora and Millipora and all that just growing and thriving.
yep. That are actually all different colors and beautiful. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the pattern that he made,
Mhm.
where kind of like the green was next to the yellow, so it just made it pop. And
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
seen a couple videos on like putting corals next to each other that like are across from each other on the color wheel.
Yep, complementary. Yep,
Yeah, that, kind of help give that pop.
yep, yep.
That's why I was kind of thinking about putting the red digitata right here so that
Yeah,
maybe the green Samacora could like go around it.
yeah.
Um, but I don't know. This is a branching Samacora too, so I don't know what it's going to do,
Mhm.
but it's
Yeah, I
it's
have
loving
a
life right now.
bubblegum digi that's kind of really, really struggling right now because it's being overgrown by mushrooms. And
Oh,
I should cut it and put it on a frag plug to save it. I might do that later today, but it was huge. I have a couple pictures of it on various thumbnails right beside the Goniastria and a couple other things. And I'm kind of sad to lose it because it's like brilliant pink skin
oh
with kind
wow.
of reddish orange polyps. It's really pretty. And digitata, in my experience, I've always had trouble with them, and I think it's because I haven't given them the right kind of light. And then I finally find the right situation for it, and then I have to move everything, and
Right.
we're back to
And they
square
can't get
one.
comfortable.
No, exactly. Oh, hey, the Herm 14. Good morning.
Hey, the
Say
Herm.
He's saying good morning from the San Francisco Bay Area, California. Yeah. And Ryan says, thank you, so kind. Yeah, it's beautiful. Hey, Kevin, K Reef Aquarium Hobby. Nice to see you too. Yeah. So then this tank you've been working on, you've dealt with the algae.
Yeah, I've dealt with it. Um, right now I'm just gonna kind of let everything grow. Um, if I do happen to find, a special piece at the LFS, I might bring it home. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna kind of let this just sit here, um, and just kind of mature. I
Mhm.
think I want some more blastos because
Right,
these are doing super well. And now that I've found kind of an area where they like to be, I wanna put some more over there to make a bit of a garden.
right. Those clowns don't like you being down there.
No, I think they're just like attention getters. They think I might like be feeding them or something right
Oh
now.
yeah. I just have one clown right now because I don't know if you knew or if I told you guys. I think I must have told you guys on a live stream. I lost my male clown. I think he might have been sick, and my daughter. This is when it was still at my daughter's place, Mollywood, and one of the mushrooms ate him.
Oh
So
no.
I know I have pictures and whatever and video somewhere. And so I just have the female left, and she has become rather pugnacious and actually bit me the other day when I was putting in the algae clip for the tangs. So
Oh man.
now I'm all gun shy, and I use the giant tongs to get that thing down there opposite the magnet. so I don't have to put my hands in the tank.
Oh, that's a
So
good idea. Yeah.
I'm not looking forward to catching those tangs and moving them over to the other 2 big tanks where they can eat the algae, because I'm a little bit afraid of her now. Oh, you went sideways. I don't know if you froze while we're waiting for Garrett to come back. K-Reef Aquarium Hobby. Yeah, I can recommend you guys check out his website, K-Reef Aqualife. I don't think I have a banner for that. It's in the Netherlands, so if you're in Europe and you're looking for products, they're part of the EU. And I found the Aquaforest liquid mysis that I love to feed to my corals, especially the large polyp ones, the cinerinas and the scolies. And so he has that, and also the Aquaforest Lab Calcium. Oh, I guess we lost Garrett. Hopefully he'll come back. So yeah, anyway, check it out. It's very easy to deal with. The website is good. I was able to translate what I needed to for it from Dutch to English, and my order is going to be sent out Tuesday. And this Aquaforest liquid mysis, I've not been able to find it in North America, and I found it in Germany when I ordered my All for Reef powder, and I needed to make up the order to a certain minimum, and so that's why I tried a bottle of this liquid mysis. The stuff's amazing. Just a tiny drop has, I bet you, 50 little tiny mysis in it. It's not alive. And it's great for the LPS corals. It's the right size for them. It really evokes a feeding response in them. So, oh, hey, Insane Reefer. How's it going, Oscar? Did you say your mushroom ate your clownfish? Yeah. We think because they live in the mushrooms. They have their colony of green hairy mushrooms. They live in there, and I'm pretty sure the male must have been sick. It was, like I said, it was at my daughter's house. If it had been here, of course, looking at the tank every day, knowing what to look for, I would have known what the problem was more likely. But if it's not your tank, you just basically do what you have to. Oh, there's Garrett. I'll get him back. There we go. Okay, so I can see his picture below, but the screen is black. Not sure why. Yeah, so the male clown, I'm assuming he was ill or something happened, maybe got in a fight and with the female, and ended up passing away while he was on a mushroom. And when my daughter noticed, the mushroom was all closed up, a big purple ball, no clownfish to be found anywhere, no body anywhere. Excuse me. In these all-in-one tanks, oh, hang on a minute. I got to turn my streamer on because it's possible. There we go. Oh, disappeared again. In these all-in-one tanks, generally, if a fish dies, it will float up to the overflows. So it's not often that they end up under the rocks or anything like that. Usually they end up somewhere you can see them and actually reach them. And oh yeah, man, it was something else. Okay. Hey, Chase V Reefing. Chase, I was looking for videos on your channel. It's been a while. I hope the 250 is doing well. I hope you're doing well. Yeah. So let me know if you want the link, anybody, to come in. I'm hoping Garrett will come back. Let me find where that banner is. There we go. So if you want to come in and show your tank, even if it's a horror show, sometimes, sometimes the horror shows are good because we learn from them. Oh, cool. Expecting a baby, so we've been busy. Oh, that's so nice. Congratulations. Yeah. We did some babysitting yesterday, and we, about every other Saturday, have been spending the afternoon with the little guy. My daughter brings him here, and we just spend the day amusing him. And he's lots of fun. because he's at that age. So he now knows how to pick things up off the floor and put them in the garbage, even if they're not garbage. So yeah. Hopefully Garrett will try again. So what else is new? Yeah, I was saying earlier on, for those who weren't in at the beginning, I still don't have a shipping date for my tank. I did hear from the LFS that he let the builder know that he could ship at any time. And I've been doing a lot of thinking about this whole experience. And it's very much a first world problem. But I knew going in that communication from this guy wasn't great. I knew that build time was usually long, but I underestimated how stressful that would be. And the build time stretched from what could have been 12 weeks, which is basically the outside time frame, 8 to 12 weeks at the time I ordered it, to, I've even lost count, 30 weeks now, something like that. It's been 7 months. So I think the problem is that I underestimated the stress, and I almost feel robbed of that experience of excitement, anticipation, because you can only use so much of your emotional energy for anticipation and excitement, only to be constantly disappointed or endlessly waiting. And it's not been a great experience so far. And I'm really hoping the tank is freaking gorgeous when it gets here, and that the stand is done well, the way I want it, and kind of looks professionally finished. And at this point, I haven't seen pictures of anything but the tank while it was underway the second time. So it's been a lot of ups and downs. We still have a couple jobs to do to get ready. We have to rinse the sand, and I need to hook up the Wi-Fi on the Atlantic lights that are above me. I haven't done that yet. And I also want to get the hydros up and running and operating something on my system. Probably it will operate as a backup to the radiant heating system, just in case the sensor ever comes out of the water and the system reacts by turning on and not turning off because it's responding to room air. So yeah, got to do the hydros, got to do the light, and have to do the sand. And we have plans for the sand. We did some looking into it. I'm going to be putting it in after the water and the rocks. So that's new for me. Well, no, it's not new for me, but rinsing it first is going to be the thing I do this time to avoid the mistake I made last time. Oh, Chase says he can get on the stream in a half hour or so. That'd be great. That'd be awesome. Oh, Reefing with O is here. Okay, Oh, I'm going to turn on my thing here so that I can hear you and I don't blather away over top of you trying to talk. Oh, there's Garrett. We'll bring him back. Hey, Garrett.
Hey, sorry.
That's
I
okay.
thought I had my phone plugged in, but it wasn't plugged in.
And here's Reefing with O.
Hey,
Cool.
What's
Nice to see you. Oh, what do you have? What's that for you having for your lunch today? Looked pretty good.
okay? Here you go. Sorry, I was getting a call. Yeah, good. Strawberries. Just eating
Oh.
to snack it.
Yeah. End of the season around here. We've got the last fresh picked ones about a week ago.
my
How's everything?
strawberries haven't done anything in my garden this year. Oh, those look good.
They actually look ripe, like naturally ripe, and not ripened on a truck as it travels from California.
I think New Jersey has. I'm in New York, and I think New Jersey has strawberries, so I don't think it has to go far.
Mm-hmm.
Strawberries and blackberries.
Mm-hmm. This time of year, they're really good. And blueberry season has started here. So our neighbors went blueberry picking, and I have 2 pints of fresh blueberries in my fridge. Aha.
I think I have blueberries. I think it's blueberries. I said blackberries, but
Yeah,
I think it's
they're
blueberries.
smooth. They're smooth on the outside, right? Yeah. I have those on my cereal every single morning because I think they're really good for you.
It's
I
blackberry
need to.
season here in Oregon here soon.
Oh
So
yeah.
we're gonna be doing some picking, and my girlfriend makes a really good blackberry crisp.
Oh, nice. So do you have to worry about bears when you're doing that kind of
Not
picking?
really, because the blackberries in Oregon, they grow everywhere. So
Ah,
you can just pull off on the side of a road when you see a huge bush, and they're the ODOT isn't allowed to spray a certain amount of them. And
yeah.
so, yeah, you can just go out, and there's a place by the airport where it's just a massive wall of blackberry bushes. You just got to make sure you wear jeans because it's pretty thorny.
Yeah, my
My
daughter
legs,
has. Oh, go ahead.
oh, my legs have gotten cut up quite a few times going blackberry picking.
Yeah, raspberries have finer thorns, kind of almost like bristleworms, and they're insidious because they're all under the leaves and on the leaf stems. And my daughter has a patch behind their barn, and they have to keep the little guy out of there because he just grabs everything at the stage he's at right now. Cool.
Yeah, in that grabby phase.
Yeah, exactly. Oh, Insane
Hey,
Reefer
Mr.
says,
DKH, can I borrow him for?
yeah. He's on Instagram and he's got some fire going on lately in his tank. I don't know if you follow him there, but you should check it out. Oscar, Insane Reefer. Any recommendations for STN? I am trying to win the battle. Yeah,
Yes.
I
Speaking of,
have it.
I lost that bottle brush that was kind of
Uh,
STNing. And it's kind of my own fault because I forgot to turn the ATO back on.
oh
And so I
yeah,
think just a little bit of a higher salinity than what it was used to kind of got it out of whack, and
yeah.
it left. There was like a small little polyp left, just a tiny little booger, and I tried to put it on a frag plug, but that was too much stress for it. It just went.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Speaking of salinity, shock of the century. I have 3 totes of saltwater cooking rocks right now, and I have my 265-gallon sump system, and I have my 40-gallon Nuvo. That's the observation tank with the tangs in it. It's been a long time since I checked salinity, and there's been a lot of messing around down there with taking water out and etc. So I checked all 5, and every single one except one of the rock totes is dead on 1.025. And I'm not even talking, a variation, the thickness of the little lines, like dead on. I couldn't believe it, especially
Wow.
the rock totes because they're hard to keep up with because, you got to dump fresh water in all the time because of the flow and everything. So I was pretty impressed with that.
That is impressive.
I have
Hey,
picked
do you
raw
want me to show
blueberries.
you the new tank?
New tank. Oh, the 25 with the NEMs. Is this what you were talking about yesterday
Yes.
with Greg and DC? Cool. Of
Yeah.
course.
All right. All right. You have to be able to switch your camera, right?
Yeah.
Front camera, back camera. All right. Let me know when you can see the back camera.
There we go.
All right.
Put your full
So
screen.
here's
Nice.
the main display.
Nice.
This is the Red Sea Reaver. It's
That's a 350?
I think. Hang on a second. Look. Yeah, 350.
It's a 4-foot
I
tank,
had
right?
like the DKH issues. 4 foot,
Mm.
about 75 gallons.
Yeah, the 4-foot tank. Yeah.
So I had some issues last week with heat. My chiller issue with my chiller, and I did lose like You know, I'm not a small
Oh,
person. I have big hands, but I lost like 2 colonies like that.
oh
Um,
boy.
so, but all in all, you know, even with losing those, I still, because I'm a little bit of a hoarder, I still got. I wish I had a blue. All right, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can grab a. I got glasses somewhere because that just looks all blue.
Well, us out here who have glasses can put them on, and that works too.
All right, there you go.
Oh, there we
Okay.
go. Yep. You got a
All right.
nasotang in
So,
there. Nice.
yeah, he gotta go soon. And my
Yeah, he's
fox
getting
face,
big.
which is munching, he's munching. He munched. I saw him munch on that, and I saw him munch on my clams. So there's a
Oh,
clamshell there.
oh
There's
no.
clamshells there. There's a clamshell there. There's a clamshell
Hmm.
there. There's clamshells. Yeah, he munched on my
Oh,
clam. So,
it's a
um,
buffet.
yeah, so he got to go.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think all in all, I'm holding a few corals for a friend of mine. His tank wasn't. I think he's out of town for a while, and so I'm holding. You know, like I have like a Pectinia, a
Oh
Raja
yeah.
Rampage, and a few other like things I'm holding for him.
Hmm.
But I think all in all, I think I'm happy with where I'm at. I got some corals that are still doing well, a lot of basing out,
Yeah.
still growing.
Those look
You have
That's
a
good.
my red
gem.
planet that's doing really well.
Oh yeah. You have a gem tang in
Yeah,
there
I got a
too.
gem tank, uh, and that is a rhomboid wrasse. I've got a pair, and one disappeared. But
Mm.
that is the female rhomboid wrasse. I wish it was the male because the male just looked so stunning.
Hmm.
So I am trying to get another. Yeah, I have a gem tank. I've had that gem tank for a while. I was back when gem tanks were ridiculously expensive. I just walked like about 3 or 4 years ago. My wife and I were at Petco, and it was like I think it was $500,
Hmm.
and we were like, "Yeah, we'll take it." That's when they were still selling for $1,000, and that was my
Yeah.
Father's Day gift for a few years ago. So
Yeah. Yeah.
I
Last
got rid of my
year.
yellow tank because of him because he's
Yep. Last year my LFS had them for 600, and they had like maybe half a dozen of them.
yeah.
But it's just too much. I can't house them right now. It's just too soon for me. Bad timing.
Yeah, he's the aggressor in the tank, but yeah. And anything you see with like a white base epoxy, you know, I just glue that down. Actually, glue that down today. But my little torch garden, I'm starting to collect. I don't know. I know one of them is like a gold torch or something. I don't. I'm not good with names. I just look at the color and like to
Yeah.
collect.
Yeah.
Um, I got a lot of. I got 4 MP40s all on the back wall. So
And so they go straight forward. What mode are they running?
like I'm on Mobius, so a mixture of everything. So
Ah, okay.
yeah, I think they change mode throughout the day.
Cool.
Yeah, that's my algae reactor. Um, because I've been playing with pumps. Usually, this wall is covered in algae, in coralline algae, but I get light that seeps through the algae reactor at night. So I put that little towel to keep the light, because you can see where our power head was, where that
Right.
section is encased in. Yeah, so that is a deep water acro that I had high up, and it just turned brown.
Oh,
So
yeah.
I put it. I forgot where I got this idea from. I think it's from Jake Adams, where I just have these little rocks that I glue to like tonsy magnets
Yeah.
so I can move corals around until they're happy. So that is, I think at the back there, you see that's a Hawkins Echinata.
Yeah.
That one, I moved it around until it was happy there. And this one is, I've been moving him all around. So that's his latest spot until he colors up. I think that's a deep blue one. I think the Echinata is a teal blue. That is
Yeah.
like a really deep, rich blue.
Nice.
So yeah, and then I also had some chromis that had started to become like really aggressive to my small fish, especially when I put the rhomboid in. So you can see there's some newish rock, and that is because I basically had to move everything to
Oh,
take those chromis out, and you know
Yeah.
when you've moved rock, it's kind of next to impossible to put it back together the way it was.
That's for sure.
So that wasn't a fun experience.
So
It was
is
not a
this?
fun experience. But overall, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, is this the tank that had the DKH of 2 point something?
Yes, yes,
Oh
this
man.
is the tank. And yes, I did lose big colonies. But for the most part, I think, like, I have a lot of stuff that's lost its color,
Hmm.
but I didn't lose. I just lost my biggest colonies, which always suck.
Yeah.
Like, these are not as colorful anymore.
Yeah.
But, you know, for the most part, yeah.
At least you still have them, though.
Yeah, this is my wife's side. I'm not allowed to touch the side without permission. So torches, and you can tell this is because it's all Euphilia. We got hammers, gold hammer, gold wall hammer.
Oh, I love that one.
That is Ganapora. These are different torches. Man, these torch names, New York Knicks, and I just go for the color.
Yeah. I agree with you. I have a
I'm the same way.
lovely vibrant green with pink tips. That's what I have. I have
And,
no clue what it is. I don't care. I like it.
and then here are some corals that are just straight up brown from the DKH. So, you know, like just, you know, brown. A lot of stuff is just brown. My frag rack probably looks brown. Like most of the stuff here is alive, but, you know,
Yeah.
they get pissed off.
Yeah. And it you know what, in my experience, it might take another week or two before you see who the survivors will be.
Yeah, stuff is. I started pulling out some frags that died. I pulled the big ones out. You can see the one straight ahead that's into the green. That was a nice pink millipora that's going. I pulled all the dead stuff from the frag rack today, but I think for the most part, most of the death is gone.
And I think what happens too, and what I noticed is even if the branches might die, if it's based out, sometimes that stays alive.
Yep, you can see that here. That didn't happen this time, but that's what happened with that.
Yeah.
When I was doing something, you know, um, it died. The top died, and I clipped it off and left the base, and it was like a tiny sliver of thingy on the rock. And look, it's almost, you know,
Yep.
it's taken a year to grow back from like literally one, like let's say a 5 millimeter piece,
Yep.
but that's really good.
Yep.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
how,
that
how
happens.
are you?
Well, this is my first SPS dominant. Go ahead.
So how are you going to try and raise the DKH? Are you going to be doing water
Right, well,
changes or?
I am testing. No, I test with the Brightwell, and I'm raising it every day. Like I pour out to raise it. How much to raise it by a DKH like 2 DKH every day, and then I just pour that in over the course of the day with Brightwell.
Okay.
So you can go to like 2 full DKH a day, or you mean 0.2?
I'm going to. Well, the thing is, when your DKH is 2, like I don't think I should be raising it slow. So I'm going to. If I see signs of stress, then I'll stop. But I'm
Right.
going to. The Brightwell 2 part is the one that really raises your pH. So I really have to be careful with that.
Yeah, because you're also
So
dosing calc, right?
yep, yeah. So
Yeah.
it gets up to about 8.4. So I just pour it in over the course of the day. I'm up to 5 something now, 6. So
That's good.
Wow. Cool. Oh, hey, Calypso's Reefs. You must be here while you're on vacation. And there's ATF in the house. Hi, Alan. Glad you could join us.
And the reason why there's a weird collection of Monties on the ground is because for a while, something was happening in my tank where all my Monties were dying. And I just had these little clippings that I glued to different things. And I'm happy to say, like, you know, now I'm seeing growth edges on my Monty. So whatever issue I had with Monty's, it's, you know, it's starting. Even I don't know if you can see that on the rock. That was a dead piece of Monty that I thought was gone, and that
Mhm.
started to grow back.
Yeah.
That little green that you see at the back there, I forgot the name of that. That is a really it's the same thing as this. It's really annoying, like purple, like green and
Oh, is
purple
that
slash brown
is
Monty, but it's
that might be Spongotes, right? That looks like the
yes,
branch
yes, yes. That's
format.
the name.
Yeah.
I hate. Yeah, I kind of. I've had a tank before where it just went nuts, so I'm not a
Yeah.
big fan. But
So
you
how
know, it's good.
Mr. DKH is wondering how your DKH dropped, like how it happened.
I think I was just too busy concentrating on the new tank that I was putting up, and I just neglected it.
Mm.
I think that and a combination of my haul for reef ran out, but I think I wasn't. I went like about 3 weeks, 2 weeks without testing.
Yeah, that would do it.
So yeah, that was my fault.
Yeah, I have to bleed the lines in my doser because I'm using a Jabo doser, and I think I'm using the old one, and I've had that for 6 years, and I've never changed the heads or the tubing. And so I think what's happening is there's some air getting in the lines. So I have a few places where there's bubbles. So I got to try and bleed those lines and see what happens, because maybe it's just a temporary problem. Maybe I got to get out my new Jabo doser and replace, take the old one offline, put the new one online, and fix the old one up. But
Is that
that's why sorry. Go ahead.
is your new Jabo doser the Wi-Fi version?
No, by new I mean I think it's 2 years old.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Yep. So
Newish.
new-ish. Yeah, new to
Newish.
me. New to me. So anyway, got to
That's
do
my
that.
hydros control.
Ooh.
I relocated and remounted my dosers, and I did that. But I really don't think that was the issue with mine. I think, well, for one thing, I think I'm hitting up at the limit of what you can dose with all for reef, because I'm at about 100 milliliters a day with
Yeah,
all for reef.
you know how much I
So
dose into the 40 is 5 milliliters a day.
uh,
Yeah.
I think I saw the you can do 26 per 25 gallons. Something when I read it though, I know I've seen people do double or triple, but I honestly think like I'm just dosing so much where I'm gonna get to that limit soon, and I still think I have frags. So I'm gonna have to put my calcium reactor back on at some point in the near future. I'm going
Yeah.
on vacation starting not Monday coming, but following Monday. I'm going to be gone for 10 days, so I don't want to make any changes.
No.
But
Mm-mm.
I'm getting up to the theoretical limit of all for reef.
Yeah.
So I just started to do some cleanup here, clean up wires. It might not look clean now because you see wires, but it was a lot messy, because if I'm going to be gone for 10 days, I'm going to need someone to be able to come in here and be like, know what's going on. So I
Yeah.
remounted everything. Again, might not look crazy compared to what, but this is 100% better than it was before. So someone who's, like at least my wires are organized, pump one is plug one, like all these
Yeah.
things. I
Yeah.
did that.
Yep.
So, this, well, I
It
haven't spoke
looks
about that tank
good.
yet,
It looks
but
good.
thank you. I appreciate that.
Yeah, it does.
So if anyone needs to come and do anything while I'm not here, they should be able to know, like, hey, that's that. I don't think I
Mm-hmm.
need anyone to touch my skimmer because I got the skimmer thingy.
Yep.
And I'll just turn the skimmer to skim a little drier while I'm gone. But all in all, I other than the DKH and the heat, and here's my chiller. This is a
Mm-hmm.
Teco chiller, and I got a
Right.
bigger version. I was using the one that was 500. This is now 1,000. So I've got a chiller that's double the size.
Mm-hmm. Cool. Oh, hey, Swiss
All right.
Ocean. What's up, guys? Hello from Switzerland. Woo. And we have K
All
Reef
right.
in the waiting room, so maybe I'll bring him in, and then you can
Oh,
finish talking about your anemone tank. Hey, Kevin.
All right.
Hi all. Oh,
Hi.
let's turn my camera so I'm. It's not turning. It's not turning. What's wrong this time?
We'll look at O's NEM tank
Yeah.
and see how that goes, and
All
maybe you
right.
can
Well,
fix
if
it.
it's not. All right. So this is a this is a 25 lagoon. This is a regular innovative marine 25 lagoon. So first I had a 10-gallon NEM tank, which, you know, I had this one pedestal from Marco Rocks on it. But the NEMs, I had so many NEMs, they were just getting too many for that tank. So I wanted a bigger one. The 25 lagoon, it only comes with the back filtration. So I think I was on your stream a couple weeks ago when I was ripping out baffles, but I think it came out well. I cut the baffles out, the back filtration, clean up the silicone, and I'm using the X Aqua in and out overflow. I think Two Little Fishies is the one that distributes it in the US. Right now, it's only the return jet. All that flow you see, it's only all the ripples you see. It's only the return jet that's providing all the flow in the tank at this time. I have a Nero 3, but it's not on yet. And again, I'm holding some frags for someone, so that's what you see. But I put sand in the tank because NEMs don't really like to walk on sand, so I'm going to use that as sort of, my things to keep them isolated. But what I really like about this tank is the light. I decided to do a Kessel.
Oh, the 500.
Kessel. No, well, this is the 360.
Oh, is
What
it?
I really
Okay.
like about this tank is the light. Yeah, I decided to do a Kessel.
It's got that narrow reflector on
Yeah,
it, looks like.
Yeah, so the reason I wanted a narrow reflector is because my TV is right here. So I think eventually I'm going to have to move my TV over a little bit. So I didn't want any light spillage when I was doing when I was watching TV. So Kessel has two reflectors. They have the 35. Oh, you can't see that. This is the 35. And then they also have the regular reflector. I had to get the really narrow reflector. That's about 3 feet over the tank. And I have to say, I kind of like it. I really do like it. I'm getting about 170 par at the NEMs, everything at 100% with the color about 50-50. But,
Cool.
I have to say I like it. And then I went to Home Depot, got a little channel thingy, painted it the same color as my wall.
We
So
love those things. Yeah, we've used
Yes.
those. We love them.
Because I'm probably going to change the color, the light to the other one. I only painted the extension cable blue, but I think once I get the final light here, I'm going to also paint the cable blue. So you won't be able to. I think it kind of disappears into the wall a little bit because it's the same color as the wall.
Yep.
Yeah, I really like it. And again, you can see from the shadow, there's almost no spill when you're watching TV.
Yep.
So this light comes on really early and goes off earlier. So by the time 5-6 o'clock I sit down to watch TV, this light is already off.
So if you drop it a bit lower, like I was just thinking, is 170 par sufficient for the NEMs?
It's to get the best color, no, and that's why I probably want to get the bigger Kessel. I don't think I want to drop it. I like it where it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because there's no, when you're watching the TV, it's not in the way at all. So I like it where it is.
It's not in your line of sight either. Like when you look at the tank, you don't immediately see the light. Yeah.
That is true. The one annoying thing though is the Kessel. I didn't realize Kessel's mounting hardware is just a hook, which really, really annoying. Like I found that so annoying. I have to say though, like how Ecotech you have these, it actually fits the screw in it. It's just that I couldn't center it.
My AP 700.
I've already annoyed my wife by.
My AP 700 has those
it'll fit.
things.
It'll fit.
Yeah. Cool.
Yeah, I've already annoyed my wife because even when I hung my radions for my regular tank, like you can see, I had to do it twice before I got it. So my wife gets annoyed every time I, make another hole in the ceiling. So I didn't want to do another one because the NEM tank that was here, I moved that tank around a couple of times. So you can see I had one, I had two, and then I was going to put one in between. I was like, no, let me just do that. But that, like again, like that's really disappointing from Kessel that that's their hardware. But in case someone wants to like try like AI Hydra, like it fits. Like that screw thing fits right in the top. It's perfect, but I wasn't able to balance it. So that's really disappointing. That's the only thing I don't like about the light. The fact that there's no onboard controls and just the hanging thing is terrible.
So it's only via an app that you can run it?
No, this is just on and off. Like I'm not paying. This is for
okay.
50.
Yeah.
I'm not paying another $100 or $70 for the. I think it's $99 for the control.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's a rip.
So dumb.
I'm sorry.
Like there are so many 90-watt lights on the market. Even with Ecotech raising prices, this is still the most expensive 90-watt light on the market, and it doesn't have any onboard controls. And every time I see someone do a review, I get annoyed when they say, oh, it has onboard controls. Like, who on earth is going to go and turn their lights on and off and tune the color like that's the opposite of what we tell people is stability is best. So when someone tells me, oh, it has onboard control, I almost want to get mad. Like internally I boil. Like, why are you telling me that?
What? I feel that way about real estate listings that say it has quartz counters and they're clearly laminate. Sorry.
Yeah.
So
I get you. We all have our things we get.
I've seen like a Kessel knockoff on Amazon, but even that has like a Wi-Fi app for it. Like it's just a small little chip you got to put in there. So it just boggles my mind that they haven't gotten with the time.
I have the Hydros. Like feeder. This is literally the Eheim feeder, and the guys from Coral View said, why reinvent the wheel? All we do is just take it and put the Hydros Wi-Fi chip in it. Like, and they're still able to sell it for $40 and obviously still make a profit after putting their chip in it, right?
Oh, Kessel I might have to do that.
Kessel is a way bigger company than Coral View, than Hydros, I think. So why couldn't Kessel do that? Like, get a chip and I gotta buy a dongle. Like that's annoying. And then they tell me like you only have to buy one dongle, but then I have to buy one dongle, and then I have to. You know the good thing about Ecotech is I have tanks everywhere, and I can always like just sync my tanks together. They don't have to be connected. What if I wanted another Kessel for my kids' tank? I have to get two dongles. I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop ranting, but yes, that is my rant. I'm sorry.
Oh, hey, Sharbuckles. Sharbuckles is here. And Marcus Aerolis says, I have that Kessel knockoff Algae Warrior. So there you go. Yeah. All right, I'm going to go back to multi-view here so we can say hi to Kevin.
I didn't fix the problem with my camera. I think, but my phone has tell me now for 2 weeks that I need to do an update, and I haven't done it yet. So I think it's that.
Oh, okay.
Because the function for turning the camera and screen, it's on, and I put it on and off. But
you're in eternal portrait mode.
Yeah, I'm a portrait, No, so you have to do it. I have to do it like this.
Yeah.
It's always problems, Remember last time that I wanted to change the camera and I was gone?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember that. We lost you. Hey, glad you're back. So your NEM tank is looking good. And it does look like you were successful with that demolition that you had. So now we get to see how it goes. Cool.
Yep, I'm really excited.
Yeah. Any manufacturer that has Wi-Fi or Bluetooth mixed in gets my business, no questions asked. Yeah, and I'm still reluctant just because I've found that to be unreliable enough times that I want the buttons. I want the knobs to twiddle or the buttons to push just in case I need to make changes. Because with a light, you don't often change things. Same with a dosing pump. Hopefully you don't have to frequently change things, but I'll tell you, when that Camor let me down because the Wi-Fi was iffy, I couldn't do anything with it. Like it was a paperweight, because if you don't have Wi-Fi, you can do nothing. At least with the Jabo, the new Wi-Fi version, which I'm seriously thinking about, at least you have either or. So yeah. Sharbuckle. I do love me some knobs as well.
I was selling the new Jabo 2.1
Yeah, the
doser.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah, it's working great.
Yep.
We have placed it on all the new builds we did in the last 2 months, and it's easy because the clients, they can go on their phone and fix it, but when I come in the first time and I set it up, I just use the knobs. I don't need to ask for their phones or something. It's so, and it works great.
Yep. Okay. Oh, has he ever grown up since the last time I saw him?
Oh, he is. Yes. He's 13 now. I can't believe kids grow fast.
Yep.
Yeah.
So Kevin, you've been super, super busy with the business. And I think when we talked about it on the stream, when you were on that one time, you were looking at quitting your day job, and now you've done that. And so now you've got the business going. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's crazy. I think then I was talking about, maybe in a year or two or something. But then 2 months later, I got an opportunity and an investor, and then things went really fast.
Yep.
But it's much work. It
is.
It's not a normal day job.
No, I had a business that involved mailing and parcels and things like that, and that takes up a lot of your time. And what I found with the mailing part of it was I learned a lot about how to do shipping so things don't get wrecked. And the biggest problem is people leave void spaces in boxes and everything rattles around. But it wasn't something I ever felt like I could trust to anybody to get it right. It took me a long time to feel comfortable with somebody else doing the shipping for me, because I just didn't want to have problems. And of course, when you're a one-man show, or in my case, a one-person, like, there's only so much of you to go around, and you also need to eat, sleep, and spend time with your family.
Yeah. But now I'm actually not alone. Because there is one company that builds really nice tanks. They do how you say that, custom builds.
Yeah.
From small ones to even. Last month we placed a tank of 35,000 liters.
Oh boy! Wow, that's like 9,000 gallons. Holy smokes!
And also 5,000 liters and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So it's a manufacturer, and they asked me if we could do a cooperation together, because
Nice.
they didn't have someone for the salt water. And they wanted someone that knows a little bit about it, of course. But they knew me because it's the same manufacturer that built my new tank.
Okay.
So, and they have sponsored my channel for 2 years almost. So they knew me, of course, and so now we have started how you say that,
collaboration.
We have made a company together. So my one person business became a cooperation, like stuff.
Nice.
So, but everything saltwater related comes to me. So it's really busy, but fun.
Yeah. So with everything going on, how are you finding the supplies to get? Are you having any issues with keeping your stuff in stock, or that seems to happen over here, but I think it's stuff that has to come from Europe that we have a problem with mostly.
Yeah, but also, yeah, we notice some stuff takes a really long time to come in, also at the wholesalers, and
Oh, we lost
uh,
O.
yeah, we lost. Oh,
Oh, there must be fights going going on back there. He says he's not washing dishes.
oké, sorry, I'm back. Oh,
That's okay.
alleen het linkse stekkertje uittrekken. Ja, links. Ja. So my wife came in at the big tank inside the alarm of the uh,
The auto
automatic of the
the auto top
ATO
off, yeah.
is going. So she said, "How do I set it off?" So I said, "Just pull the cable out."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah, my husband knows which switch to turn off when that happens, because every
yeah,
once in a while it runs too long, and so he has to turn it off and then turn it on again to reset it.
yeah. And then, but I just got a new one, and the old one, the Tunzi, she knew how to do, but this one she doesn't know. So no, but yeah, supplies. Uh, Mainly, most waiting actually is also aqua forest products.
Yeah.
So I was lucky, the
Yeah.
mice, but
Yeah.
there were not many in stock. I think I ordered now 5 of them, and there were just 6 or 7 in stock
Yeah.
left.
And
So
that comes from Poland, right?
yeah, and it comes to De Jong Marine Life in the Netherlands,
Okay.
and that's one of the biggest, yeah, wholesalers in Europe.
Okay.
So yeah, and I know another wholesaler also was also waiting for stocks from Aqua Forest. But anyway, yeah, it comes from Poland. Actually, it's not so far away here, but
No.
even Germany is next to us, and even products from Germany we have to wait a long time because the manufacturers have problems getting their
Mhm.
supplies. Yeah, their ground supplies, or how you say it.
Yeah.
The base needs to make their products, of course.
Oh, the ingredients.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
also like
it's
for
crazy.
pumps and plastics and stuff, also, for
Yeah.
pumps and stuff.
I was reading this morning that apparently the shortage of computer chips is going to be eased up a little bit over the next few months. And now everybody's all worried that they're going to manufacture too many and then there'll be a glut on the market. I'm just thinking,
Oh,
like, you've got to be able to figure it out. I mean, it's not like they were invented yesterday and nobody knows what they're capable of. It's, anyway, but that's what's
oh,
holding up one thing I'm waiting for that I'm supposed to be getting in September for testing. And yeah,
it's not funny if you have to wait.
no. Well, it takes me an hour to test. And that's why I put it off, because I have to go get all my test kits, bring them out. There's only one place I can do it. That I don't have to bend over at a stupid angle to look at, like, where I can sit. And I'm always worried about getting that alkalinity reagent on my beautiful white stone countertop.
Oh,
I
no,
think my
no.
husband would have a fit if I made a big blue stain on there.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, so bring it on, auto tester thing. Anyway,
Okay, all the tester. That would be nice.
Are you
it's
getting the Mastertronic?
no, I'm getting something that's very similar to the API Aquaspin.
Oh, cool.
Yep, and it costs a lot of money. I've already paid for it, and I have to wait till September until it's available. And I'm getting it from a fish farming supply place. They
Okay.
also use these things here for swimming pools and spas. And I found out directly from the manufacturer that they have an agreement with Mars, the big pet company,
Mhm.
that ornamental aquariums, they can't supply ornamental aquariums, only to Mars. So Mars is the only one that can sell this particular device to the aquarium hobby, and they choose only to sell it to retail shops. They will not sell it to hobbyists
Okay.
because they want people to go into the stores. Makes total sense. But
Yeah.
what if you live in the middle of nowhere and you don't have a local fish store
Mm.
and you have the money and you can afford it and you're buying an Alcatronic or a Trident or any of those, the KH director, the Ion director. So anyway, but I found with some help from Reefkeeping, I did find a source, and it's in Canada, and now we just have to wait. I also bought the test discs, and I can't even tell you how much I'm looking forward to that, to not having to spend the hour that it takes to do all the testing and the pain in the neck that it is.
Yeah, I saw a video, but was that about the API then? Maybe.
Yeah,
I saw some
API.
device with the disk.
Yep, that's what it
yeah.
is. And you put your sample in the middle of the disc. It's up to 3 milliliters of water. You put it in the machine, close the cover, press the button. 2 minutes later, you have calcium, magnesium, alkalinity, salinity, pH 5, phosphate, nitrate, and ammonia.
That's all you need.
All of them for $4 Canadian. It costs per disc.
I'll buy that every day of the week.
I know.
I think Parker's Reef did a little video on that. One of his local fish store does it, and I saw it done, and I was like, wow.
Yeah.
I don't know why every fish store doesn't do that.
I don't either.
It was a video from Parker's Reef I saw, yeah.
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 Well, I tried to get my local fish store to look into it. Well, he did look into it. And apparently API is not selling into Canada because it's not yet gone through the regulatory approvals. So I'm thinking, okay, fine. It runs on batteries though. And it's like a 12-volt adapter. So it's no different than a zillion other devices. I don't understand why it's not being made available here. It strikes me as they're missing out on a great opportunity. When you think of the money that people spend on things like the Alcatronic, the Ion, like all of the different ones that are available, this thing is a little more, but oh my God, 2 minutes. You don't have to deal with tubes or reagents or any of that stuff. It's all compact. You do your test and you're done. And so I'm going to do the math once it lands and I get the total and figure it all out. I'm going to compare it to all of the other ones and just do a chart that says, this feature, here's how it's done, etc., what the costs are per test. Because the thing about the Alcatronic and the Neptune one and all of that, it's the reagents and it's also the maintenance. Because if you don't keep those things clean, if you don't make sure you've got your supply vessel to add to the reagents, whatever that happens to be, if you need RO water or whatever it is, if you don't have your used water looked after, like it's just strikes me as a huge pain in the neck compared to putting a disc in.
Like with some of those too, I heard you have to calibrate them, as well.
Yeah.
So,
And I heard the Neptune, they want you to send it to them and have it calibrated every so often and you have to pay for it. And I'm thinking, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens.
After I saw the video of Park's Reef, I went to search for it here in Europe, and the only ones I could find was for pools.
Yeah.
And I had one company that I sent a mail to them asking about, can you get the discs for? But they said, no, we cannot get that discs. We only do pools. So
there's look at fish farming. Fish farming. That's the company that I'm getting mine from. They do fish farming. And that's what I was told by the manufacturer when I inquired, that they can't stop those companies from selling to hobbyists, aquarium hobbyists, and but they can't do it directly. Okay. And there's about 4 or 5 different models that are available that are manufactured. So that's the most I've said about it since I decided to get it, since I paid for it. But it's all to do with the chips, right? That's what's
Yeah.
holding up the manufacture is the chip shortage, apparently.
Okay.
So yeah, and I'm buying
That's
two
affecting a lot
box.
of people.
Oh yeah, yeah. If you want a new car, it's
Yeah.
really impacting some of them.
Yeah,
Nice.
I work for Amazon,
Electric car.
and we're supposed to be having a lot of these new vehicles come out for our fleet, and it's getting backed up because of the microchip shortage. So we're having to go to rental providers to try and get the vehicles that we need. So it's been really rough.
Well, and apparently, the part of the issue for availability of any vehicles, new or used, is dependent on the rental market because car rental companies, when the pandemic first started, their demand plummeted, so they offloaded a lot of their fleet. So now demand is spiking again, and they're
Yeah.
trying to replace those vehicles, and they can't. And in fact, it can cost you more for a good condition used vehicle that's maybe 2 years old than for a brand new one. The brand new one, you have to wait for it. The used one, you can have it now, right? So it's just crazy. Yeah.
I'm some thing about fish again now. I'm
Are you
getting
going to show
some.
us your tank?
Oh, I can do that, but I'm getting some nice fish tomorrow.
Oh,
3
for
gem
the
tanks.
3 gym tanks.
Yeah.
for the inside tank?
I don't know if I'm gonna put one in here because I already have an yellow tang and how you say the other one, the
The blue
purple,
hippo? Oh,
Oh,
no, the xantharium,
the dory.
purple tang with a
Ah,
yellow
right.
tail.
I saw that yellow tail. Yeah.
Yeah, the xantharium. So yeah, I have some problems. I had some problems with cyano. I told you yesterday.
Yep.
I started using from Blue Life, RX cyano or something.
Mhm.
Yes, I added it yesterday, and I must say the bottom was all red.
Ooh.
And look at this. I haven't done anything. I didn't steer or the bottom or did some suction or something. It was almost completely covered by cyano. And yesterday I put in the Blue Life cyano RX.
Yeah, I've used that before. It does a good job. It looks like it's
But
all clumping up on the bottom there and just kind
yeah,
of getting into big balls.
yeah, it goes together. Here you had like some strings or something,
Yeah.
And so then maybe later I can try or tomorrow and suck it out and see what. But it's a big difference. Also on the rocks, it was covered. The few coral that were in there, you see here, I have taken them out because, they got covered. So I have them now in my fried tanks again. Yeah, this tank, you wouldn't say it's almost running for 7 or 8 months, but
Wow.
it's have been going really slow, and then it took 6 months before I finally filled it, and then it took like 3 more months before I put fish in there, and it went really good, with the first fish. Everything was clean, and really the water was really, it was like there was no water in,
Yeah.
But then I added 2 more tanks, and then 10 antias, a school of 10 antias, and I think it was too fast and too much for my system. So I can put the light on for the sump because now I'm going like, there's no light here, but maybe you can see all the small lights. Here all these lights. But this is a small basement, and it has to yeah, I need to. It's under the stairs. I need to rebuild it, and here I want to have like tanks for RO water and salt water mixtures
Right.
stations, so I can do easier. I have already pipes ready there to drain the water and stuff. But it's so
Cool.
busy, of course.
Oh, I
so
know. Yep.
so and then yeah, then I can, because I want to have like a big refugium also. But now I'm just running this. Yeah, the skimmer is not on the Nios because it's going crazy now because of the product I did
Yeah.
in there. Yeah,
Is that something are you supposed to keep your skimmer on to skim out the dead bacteria, or how is that handled?
it doesn't say in the manual that you need to put the skimmer off or take the skimmer offline. It doesn't say that. So, but I
Right.
tried to have the skimmer, but it doesn't work. It's just overflowing like crazy. So I'm just
Yeah.
gonna wait like maybe 2 or 3 days now, and
Mhm.
then I will just do yeah, siphon a lot out and then do a big 25% water change or something.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's siphon. That's a good idea.
yeah, siphon and then big water change, and then try if I can have the skimmer back online. And then this 2 reactors is just live biofill from Aquaforest,
Hmm.
and the other one is a mixture of zeolite, carbon, and antiphosphates. But I took that offline because that they said in the manual to take stuff for, yeah, taking
Yeah.
phosphates out,
Yeah.
that you need to take offline.
Any of the adsorption media. Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
sense.
yeah. So I closed the valve and that's it. So that's, yeah, that's what I'm running.
It looks good.
But I
Yep.
try to, yeah, of course I try not to feed too much, but yeah, the antias, of course, they need to eat. But I try to do in small doses, because also I had really much problems with this small yellow tang. It became so skinny, really skinny. His head
Mm.
became white, or yeah, it was. I thought that was the end of it.
Yeah.
So I had to, get him to eat again also. So I had to try a lot of stuff. And then first he only took mysis and brine shrimp. But then I think, it's not so healthy for tanks to only eat that.
Yeah. Yep.
Then the pellets from Gerald Basler. You don't know that him, of course. That's a doctor, but he's in the big fish farms and stuff all over the world.
Hmm.
He's really known as the fish doctor.
Oh.
He's from Belgium, Gerald Basler, and he has his own foods, also for freshwater, but also for saltwater.
Right.
And he has different kind of foods, and you can use them also. He has a list to use them as natural medication for some fish, and it's also ordered by what kind of fish and family. So
Yep.
I used food from him, and that he took. And now after 2 weeks, I think, today the first time that the tank came back and take the nori
Yep.
from the 2 little fishes group, like
Yep.
you have. I know you have the same.
Yep. Yep. I do. Yeah.
I've seen it.
Garrett's just showing the Nios True Algae. Are those pellets, Garrett?
Yeah, they're pellets.
Oh yeah.
And they're pretty soft, so you can crush them up for like your smaller mouth feeds, but like literally every single one of my fish that is kind of picky with food, it absolutely loves them. Like these
Okay.
anthias, the chromis go crazy for them, but my tang and my angel just absolutely love them too.
Yeah. I'm also, I have now I'm back at my
And your store.
Yeah. So I use for the Antias also this in the automatic feeder. Wait, the camera. You see the Antias?
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, okay.
And this is the small, the S, because the Antias are not so big yet. And they really go after it. Because in the start, there was only like 4 or 5 that came out the rocks, and then they shifted or they changed shifts. Now it's time for you to go and eat. But when I started using this one in the automatic feeder, they all came out, all 10.
Okay.
So really great difference. And then for the tanks, I use the algae feed.
Yeah.
But the only thing for this one is you can't do it in the auto feeder because it's too much moist in there. Actually, it's like a little bit moist, the food, and it clogs the auto feeders.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's.
I'll have to remember that because if I do go ahead and get Antheus, I assume the food is formulated for them because of their really high nutritional needs and things like that. So
Yeah,
I'll have to do that.
I had a talk with Severin from Ecoforest and Deborah on like 1 or 2 years ago. I don't remember, in the Netherlands on a convention. And the foods are really based on the needs of that kind of fish. And yeah.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I have to be careful I don't get in too deep. I don't want to kill a whole bunch of fish because I don't know what I'm doing. So
yeah, but I also I told you yesterday when we were chatting that I think your system is a little bit bigger and can take a little bit bit more than mine. But the problems I have now is just because I think, even though my tank was running for like 3 or 4 months, but it haven't been so much. There haven't been so much. How you say that?
It's not mature yet.
Yeah, because for the 4 or 5 fish that were in there, there was not so much bioload. That's the word I was searching. So the bacteria are used to the bioload they get,
Yep.
And then after, if you go then and add like 12 fish or 13 fish in and then you get a big spike in the bioload, of course, and especially that you need to feed them every 3 days. And that's where of course I started to get the problems.
See, and the thing is that always confuses me, and even going back to freshwater days, is you're supposed to be careful about how many fish you add at once. So if you want, say I want 10 Entheus, but I'm only supposed to add 3 or 4 at a time, I have to have somewhere that can hang on to the 10 Entheus for me so that I can take 3 or 4 at a time. Otherwise, you go back to get more and they don't have them. And that always happened to us with the freshwater fish. We wanted Denison barbs, and we wanted a dozen of them because we had a big enough tank.
Yeah.
And we finally just put a dozen in because that's just the way it worked. And it was fine until I killed them with freeze-dried brine shrimp pellets.
Oh, no.
I learned that lesson. That was awful.
Oh.
Awful, because they're greedy little eaters. And I should have just put, like enough for 2 pellets each. And I didn't. And that was horrible because their stomachs essentially ruptured.
Oh.
Because the freeze-dried, the little tiny pellets, they absorb the moisture, and it was devastating when it happened.
Oh.
But anyway, so killed a lot of fish in my time. But it's how you learn, right? And nowhere did it say to be careful about it.
No.
And it was the first time I had used that food, and it never occurred to me that they would expand as opposed to sort of come apart, dissolve. Anyway.
Oh, that's great. Yeah, but maybe I was also slacking on keeping up the, how you say that, the bacteria, Maybe now I added, I used microplift therapy and the special blend, and
Yeah.
I see a difference, but I had to do that faster. I had to also start it like maybe like it was a new tank, you know, do the first dose like you start before I added all this fish.
Yeah.
I think I had to maybe
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, I think
But
you're right. Yeah, we used to use the special blend, the microblift special blend in our big freshwater tanks when we did major cleaning of gravel and stuff like that. And we always added some of that back in.
Yeah.
It reminds me I need to dose my stability, my little since I did a water change yesterday, usually I do some like stability just to kind of keep up with the bacteria and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I still haven't done a water change on my system. I've got the water ready. I've had it ready for 2 weeks now.
Okay.
And I still haven't done a water change. I think I'm nervous about it because I have to take the water level below where I have some frag racks.
Okay.
And I know it's not going to drain fast. So I have to figure out what to do, probably move them down or move them into the other tank temporarily.
And you don't have a valve to...
Yeah, I do. We have a bulkhead on the bottom of the stock tank. It's 100 gallons and it's connected to a quick connect for a hose that we run over to the floor drain.
Yeah, but I mean for the frag tanks, that's so you don't drain water there.
Oh, but they're all in, the frag racks are all in that tank.
In the
I have my stock
you
tank.
have to drain it from
they're
there.
on the side and they're near the top for the light, right?
Right.
So I may have to move it down. Plus, the other thing I'm a little worried about is that the bulkhead on the inside is open right to the valve, and I have a lawnmower Blenny in there and an Aurora Goby, and I'm afraid. I know, right? And I never see that. I've seen the lawnmower Blenny like twice in the last week, and I had not seen that fish for a month, so I thought it was a goner. But I know it's in there, but I never know where it is because I haven't been. When you can look in the side of a tank, you can usually find out where these little guys hide all the time, right? But when you only have the top, you can't find them. It's almost impossible. So I think that's holding me back.
I had it happen once with a really small couple of clownfish, you know. So from the tank, I shut off the return pump, but they were always in the corner there where the return pipe was, you know.
Yep.
Where the flow goes out. How you call that?
Yep, the return nozzle.
Yeah, the nozzle.
Yeah.
They were always there, you know, hanging around, and so yeah, I turned off the pump, and they went in there, but I didn't see that, you know. So I did the water change, and then I start up the pump again, and a clownfish came flying out of the nozzle.
Oh no,
man!
Oh, this is not good, and I didn't find the second one. So and then of course I shut down everything again, and I took the whole return pipe apart and the pump apart, and I think, where the hell is the second one? And after like maybe 2 hours in a really dark corner in the sump, I saw this little fish swimming. I think, oh my god, it's there.
Poor thing.
Yeah, but yeah, they were fine, and I can tell you that they were fine because they are still here after like now in another tank. Wait, I don't know if you see them in the torch.
Yeah.
I have them for like 5 years now, and now you can't see it, of course, with this camera, but they have really much eggs in the bottom there.
Cool.
So but that's the couple.
That's cool.
Still living happily.
Well, I'm thinking what I might do is put a cover, like a strainer, on the bulkhead, then open the valve into a bucket. and see what flushes out. And if the fish are in there hiding, they should flush out because there should be space in that pipe.
Oh yeah.
And if nothing flushes out, then I'll close the valve, put the hose on, and go from there. I just don't want to lose them down the drain.
No.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No.
I think
says
that's what's
yeah.
holding me back. Honestly, I've been reluctant, and I want to do it when my husband's home in case something happens and I need help, because I've not done it before. So the very first time, I'd rather he's in the other room just in case I need help. And he's such a social butterfly. He's everywhere all the time. And so we have to find a time.
Was it him on the pictures in, what was it, the crawling space?
Oh yeah, he was in the basement.
Yeah. Oh, poor
Yeah,
guy.
he
I
was in
think
the
there he
basement.
goes again, doing everything for his lovely wife.
Yeah, he
Oh,
had to pull a tile out of the floor and then just figure out because it's hard to figure out where to cut. He had to drill a hole up through, and he used a couple really strong magnets to try and figure out where the upstairs related to the downstairs, because there's 3 joists that are all sistered together, and then a 1-inch gap, and then another joist, and then there's a void between that and the outside wall. But half of that void is above the foundation.
okay.
So
Yeah.
we had maybe 4 inches of space that goes directly from downstairs to upstairs without having to turn a right angle over the foundation and go down. So he wanted to get as close to that as he could, and he actually did a pretty good job. He was about 2 inches away, in sideways and not front to back. And so he was able to cut that hole out. It's about 4 inches by 24 inches. And he lined the edge with that pipe wrap stuff so that would take up any vibration. And the 1.5-inch pump, like return lines, fit through there. So they're 1.5 inch. They're going to be cut down to 3/4, and we'll see what happens. So yeah, water change. Still haven't done it. It's been 5 months. It's been running.
Did you test any of the parameters for it?
For the sump system?
Oh, sorry. I thought you were talking about something else.
Oh, no. Yeah, I've been testing those pretty regularly.
Oh.
And numbers were pretty good, but I managed to zero out the phosphate. So I had to go and dump in some Tropic Marin P. Did the tank arrive, Cindy? No, it didn't.
I need to get some nitrate and phosphate from Fish of Hex for the my little swamp tank, just so I can dose it. I've been putting some Reefroids in there just so keep the nitrates and phosphates up. But I want to have like a clear dosing, being able to dose exactly the right amount.
Yeah, that takes a lot of testing. And at one point, when I started using the Alimifos Rapid, I was able to figure out exactly the way my tank runs, exactly how much the phosphate would get reduced with 1 ml of the liquid. And I thought I had that figured out, but obviously I didn't do the calculation correctly, or I didn't have enough information maybe, because I zeroed it out in about a week and a half. Slowly, like it wasn't in 2 days or anything, but still. Yeah, Calypso's asking if my tank is here yet. No, it is not here yet. And I'm still waiting to even hear that it's been shipped. And it's been a week and a half since I gave the go-ahead for shipping, once we got all the paving and stuff done around here, and we can actually get to our garage. And I've heard nothing that it's been shipped.
I was going to ask if you had a tracking number yet. That stinks.
And the problem is it starts to feel personal, intentional.
Right.
It probably isn't, but it starts to feel like okay, I asked 3 times in 7 months what was going on, and now he's going to get back at me by not bothering to tell me what the tracking number is. Like
Right, right.
it's, and I know that's completely irrational, but the reason I'm thinking that way is because I have no information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
So
you
when
know,
you don't know why something is happening, you just start formulating all these things in your
right.
head, like,
Yeah,
oh man, well maybe I was bothering him too much, or
I
this or
know.
that.
And I didn't want to be that customer that was
Right.
on the guy every week, because there's ways that you can kind of maybe cut a corner or do a shitty job and get away with it, right? I didn't want to be annoying. I mean, it's not my nature, for one thing. I'm patient, I'm
Yeah.
reasonable, and I don't yell at people in restaurants or anything like that. Everybody has their job to do.
Yeah.
But I I don't know. Excuse me.
Take some water.
Yeah,
See,
just
she's
just like
drinking.
everything else in this hobby, it's patience, and it's all about patience.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
testing your limits more.
And the thing is that it takes so little to keep somebody informed.
Yeah.
Like even just an email once a month, once every 2 weeks, to say, still waiting for that acrylic.
Yeah.
Yep.
Acrylic has arrived. We're scheduling it onto the CNC for the teeth. Like, how hard is that? Really? I
It's
don't
not.
understand. And so it just, I don't know. Nature abhors a vacuum, and
Yep.
without any substantial information, it sucks up dirt. So
But
I mean,
is it a big manufacturer?
no, it's a guy with a couple helpers.
Yeah, then it must,
Yeah,
it don't has to be such a problem to keep them informed.
yeah.
No, because when I look at us now, Aqualife, they have already need to place extra big tents, to stock all the tanks and stuff like that. They have now take extra guys to build the tanks and cut them and silicone everything. But
Yeah.
anyway, we have like 4 or 5 months, when they buy
Mm-hmm.
an aquarium, they have a waiting time
Mm-hmm.
for at least 4 months, 4 to 5 months, because it's so busy. But there are so it's crazy, it's so big, and there are so many tanks. And I can understand, maybe for like with Aqualife, for us, it's maybe not that easy to keep every client all the time informed, for like, yeah, this is I think it's easy to, yeah, maybe forget because
Well,
you're that busy. But actually, you have a good point. It should be good to do that. But
the thing is, if I did not expect to hear anything within the first 8 to 12 weeks. That was what was told to me was the build period at that time. But when you get to 20 weeks and you still haven't heard anything, that's where I start getting concerned.
Yeah.
And I went out of my way not to bug the guy, right? I did check with my LFS, but I'm not bugging him either. I know he'll tell me when he has information, and that's who I bought it through.
yeah,
So, I'm not even a direct customer of the builder. And I don't know. I said to my husband, who knows? Maybe he can't afford to buy the wood to make the crate.
yeah. It's
Very
wood.
true.
Wood is becoming gold at this
I
time.
know,
No,
like
it's
$85 for a sheet of plywood. And
yeah,
this thing is going to take it's going to take at least 5 for the tank. I don't know about the stand. I don't know what they use. But yeah, we were surprised when the Red Sea tank arrived at the quality of the crate. And my husband wasn't going to keep the wood, and I said, well, like, it's big pieces of wood. So he kept it, and he ended up using it to make the shelves for my mixing station, and like he got all kinds of use out of it. So
I think this time they will just go on and bubble wrap it for you.
Maybe. I did ask for shock stickers. Somebody recommended asking for shock stickers, and I did, but I never ever heard any confirmation back. I looked into buying them, and for $50 would have cost me $200. So if I
Mm.
could have said, okay, I'll I'll pay $4 a sticker, you buy them because you can use them again. What am I going to do with shock stickers if I buy,
Yeah.
50 of them? So I don't know. And Mr. DKH says it'll probably show up by surprise. I'm half expecting that. The other day I was in the shower and I could hear really loud beeping, and I thought, I bet you anything
A
it's
truck.
my tank. And then my phone made the noise that's the sound from Instagram, which would be the LFS. And I just thought, and what can I do? I couldn't do anything about it. My husband wasn't home. Anyway, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
we
got some
always tell
wood.
them now 5 or 6 months, and
Yeah.
then we rather contact the client and say after 3 or 4 months, your tank is ready.
Yeah,
then
that's
we
right.
say in 2 months, we try in 2 months, but that's not.
Yeah. Well, and the opposite problem with that though is, what if they're not ready for it? Then you have to store it. Well, and that's the other thing. Imagine him in his workshop or wherever he works. I mean, it's a fairly big room judging from the pictures, but having 50 square feet of his shop taken up just with my tank and the stand, because it's 5 by 5 feet, right? So 25
Yeah.
square feet plus another 25 for the stand. Like, wouldn't you want it out of there? I would.
Yeah. I'd want the
May-
space.
Maybe he had to rent extra space.
Maybe he can't afford to pay the shipping up front because it includes shipping. My price included shipping. I don't know.
Okay.
And you see what's happening? All the speculation,
Yeah.
because we don't know, right?
Yep.
Maybe he don't find a truck big enough.
Well, apparently it's DHL, and they have a lift gate. The only lift the gate they have is on a 53-foot
Ooh.
trailer. So
Oh, huh.
all the neighbors are going to be, how are they going to get that thing backed in the driveway? Yeah, Mr. DKH. Another theory is he probably can't handle the size of this build. Thing is, he's done bigger. So the guy's reputation as a builder is quality. It's known that he's poor at communicating. It's known that it takes a long time. I have never been able to find anything comparable to what I'm going through right now. So I was ready to just wait. I was ready to just, not bug him. And I've pretty much done that. And it's still not here. So,
It seems kind of like the way Reef Savvy goes in the States. Like,
yeah, I've heard that.
But I've heard that he'll have a lot of communication with the buyer.
Makes all the difference. It's the stress level, and when I do the video, I'm not going to hide anything. I'll comment on that, and yeah, first world problems. I'm being a princess, but it sure would have been nice to be let myself get excited about it, and I can't because there is no solid information to get excited about. So I feel kind of robbed, of that experience.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't, with problems that people have, that's not even on the radar for some of the things that people have going on in their lives. So I don't feel at all really justified in considering that a problem, but nevertheless, it's there.
Yeah, but anyway, it's a new tank. It's your dream build, and of course you want to be excited. If you know a date, like okay, that date's coming. You can go and look forward to that day.
Yeah.
It's like waiting for Christmas.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it's true. And I don't even know how long it takes from Calgary to here. So Calgary's in the middle of the country, 3,000 miles away. I don't even know how long it takes. I don't know if it's going to come by air, by train, by truck. I have none of that information.
Dog sled.
Dog sled. Oh my God, that would mean it wouldn't get here before January. Oh, geez. I mean, if he'd said it's going to take a year right at the beginning, it would be an entirely different ball game.
Yeah, because you'd have that expectation.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yep.
used to be a server at a restaurant, and like, people get really upset about their food, especially when it's like taking a long time, and they're not really in the know. So I always found that like when I went over to the table and was like, hey, there's something going on in the kitchen. They lost your ticket, but they're cooking it right now. It should be, 10 minutes out. That really eased their stress of like,
Yeah.
getting their food. And although they
Mm-hmm.
still were kind of grumpy about it, they were like, well, thank you for letting me know
Yeah.
that it's coming. So
It matters because it shows that your time is valued.
yeah.
And that's all you need is that acknowledgement.
Hmm.
Yeah. Oh, hey, Chimp the Reefer. Welcome. So anyway, I just feel bad about complaining about it, but boy, it's just been forever. And honestly, it doesn't bug me when everyone asks. It really doesn't. Some people it would, but it doesn't bother me because I know everybody's interested. And,
Yeah, I'm interested for sure.
yeah, me too. Somebody said they can hardly wait to see it. And I went, yeah, me too.
You and me both.
I in the last few like months, I didn't have so much time to follow social media. You haven't seen me much on social media.
No, I was noticing that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and also, an update on my channel has been, I don't know how long. People starting asking for updates, and I've been really busy. But then when sometimes, of course, I do a quick check on Instagram or stuff, and I see pictures from you coming. I already thought your tank was almost up and running, but then last time it's, no, I don't have my tank yet.
No, it's
Oh,
half
okay.
right. It's just the sump. Just the sump.
Yeah, because I
Yeah.
saw that, sump and water change and blah blah. So I think, oh, she's starting up her tank, but
Not yet. Not yet. And now I have the fun of once it gets here, staging the connection of it to the main system downstairs. Because I'm going to have to be careful about that too. Essentially, I'm doubling the water volume with
yeah,
new salt water. So, there's things to think about with that for sure. And I have the advantage though of having all of that biological filtration all ready to go.
yeah,
So, my rocks are in the totes. They're all being cured. I've got rocks actually in the return tank being cured. I've got biomedia in the back of the 150, along with some big coral skeletons, some elkhorn arm things, all being cured. So I'm ready. So we'll see what happens.
bring it on.
Yeah, damn it.
I'm
We're
ready.
here.
Bring it on.
I could probably phone the guy. I could probably phone him and say, hey, yeah, I'm kind of wondering if you could give me some information on this.
Do it now. We want to listen.
Yeah. Mr. DKH here says your sump is about 1 million gallons. Yeah. I'm going to have 2 million gallons. Yeah. No, it's 265. We measured it when we put the water in.
My whole
And
system in the living room is 260, and
yeah,
that's just your sump. Crazy.
yeah, it is crazy. It is a little bit insane.
Yeah,
Just a little.
That's more
just a
than I
little.
have in my whole fish room.
I don't know what I have now here in my fish room. I have I have a 250 gallon system. Then I have that's maybe 100 gallon in total.
Yeah.
If I calculate fast, because of course I think in liters, So
Yep.
this
Yep.
is 600 liters with the two sumps. And that's 1,200 liters.
Yep.
I don't know.
Well, that 1,200, like my display, it calculates at 360 gallons, so 1,400 liters ish.
Oh yeah, wait, I'm wrong. of course, I have 1,200 liter in the house, so that's 360, not
Yeah,
260,
yeah,
360 gallon. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah. See,
But by
with
the
your
time,
gallons.
yeah, yeah. But by the time I figure, like with water level, because it's the calculation of the 360 is for 60 by 66 by 21.
Mhm.
But I won't have 21 inches of water depth. I'll probably only have around 19 and a half. And
Yeah,
then if you figure displacement for rocks and sand, so that's why I figure it works out to somewhere around 327 when I just did some rough calculations. So it'll probably be a little less than that. Plus there's the overflow, it's external, and it's going to be 60 by 6 by I think 9 or 10. So like maybe another 10 gallons in there, something like that. 10 or
yeah,
12 gallons. So yeah.
yeah. When I did the calculation on my tank inside, it should be around 980 liters. And then, of course, I took the rocks off and stuff, so I came to 900, like, I don't know, or around 900. So I thought, oh, maybe my system is just gonna get like 1,000 liters. But then I was really surprised, because, okay, the sump is not so small,
Mhm.
uh, but I was really surprised that I went 250 liters inside my sump.
Mhm.
Yeah, I wasn't prepared for that because I didn't have
Yeah.
so much water. I thought maybe around 100 liters,
Yeah.
and then I think, oh, damn. I put the last 100 liters in the sump and it wasn't even half full. I think, oh, that's a problem.
Yeah. Yeah,
I need to
exactly.
make more water. Yeah, that was crazy. I was so surprised because I didn't calculate actually how much would go in the sump. I thought
Well,
so.
it's hard in the sump because of the
Yeah.
different water levels. Plus, you don't
Mm,
know how much the equipment's going to displace, and
mm.
it's hard to figure out. Peter M says, "Now that you know the tank is built, I would bug him on a regular basis." Yeah, yeah. Mr. DKH says his sump on his new rebuild is about 20 gallons. Yeah. So I don't know. I just wanted the flexibility of having lots of water and being able to use one of those to do a large water change if I ever had to. And that's why the second last 100 is going to be it holds about 90 some gallons right now with the water level where it is. So I
Yeah,
could do that much of a water change if I really had to.
yeah. But I would do the same, if I
Yeah.
could have that in the house like you have now.
Yep.
But I know for the new, I don't know if you guys see that
Yep.
here. You
Hmm.
see the old building
Right.
that is going down, and
Okay.
we want to do a new building, and it's going to be bigger.
Yeah.
This is 25 meters long and 5 meters wide, so it's around just 150 square meters.
Hmm.
No, you
Yep.
say that like in English, yeah. So and the new one is going to be 30 meters long and 8.5 meters wide.
Nice.
So and then I want to try, of course, to because of course, yeah, it's gonna be like a little bit like a store, but it's going to be, yeah, only open when you have an appointment.
Right. Yeah.
It's not like a real, and it don't need to be. I don't want to spend all the time in the
Waiting for
store
people. Yeah.
waiting for people. And if people come inside, and of course they want to drink a coffee and they want to talk about one fish or two fish, and if you're busy with that client for 2 hours and they buy one Nemo,
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah.
that's not, yeah,
It,
you didn't earn anything then
yeah,
on
it's
for that
true.
2 hours work. So I rather go and do an appointment with the client, and
Hmm.
and then take all my time for one client and be paid for that,
Yeah.
for the time that I, and then help them as much, like tomorrow I go to the wholesalers, I pick up all fish and coral that's ordered, then I go to the client's home,
Yeah.
I deliver it. For some clients I uh, glue the corals and put the fish in. Other clients just take the delivery,
Yep.
and that's much better, and you have much more contact with the clients. But then in this building I want to have like some kind of gallery, that they can come and
Yeah.
and see different kind of tanks, setups, what is possible, so they can
Mhm.
see that, okay, so I can help them, if they say, okay, I'm a really busy person, but I want to enjoy, I need something for a hobby and I want to enjoy that tank, but I am a really busy person and I can only spend so much time on it,
Mhm.
then we can work to a tank that is suitable for that client,
Yeah.
and so if I have some different kinds of tanks running here, so I can show them, this is like easy or in not too much time. Because if I tell a new guy in the hobby, yeah, but you can take a tank with soft coral, and keep it
Mhm.
easy and simple, they don't know what soft coral is, they don't know
No.
how it looks. But if you can say, okay, look at this tank,
Mhm.
that's with soft coral, it's nice, it swings, you have
Yeah.
also color, and you can, then it's much easier to help them. So
Yeah.
that's what I want with this building, and of course, desk and storage space for sending packages and stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
But then the water system, of course, that I want to also try and have one big sump system and stuff like that.
Yeah. Yep.
Because you can connect. If I can connect everything, it's gonna be much easier
Mhm.
to maintain, of course,
Oh
than
yeah.
if I have all separate tanks and separate sumps and stuff like that, because first I was
Yep.
thinking like that, I would do the setups also different so they can see, okay, that's is easier or cheaper stuff, or that is this or that. But then I think, but then it starts to get really difficult for
Mhm.
us to maintain the tanks. And I
Yeah.
think that when they want a tank, it's easy to explain to them, like, you can, so for this kind of tank you will need that kind of equipment,
Right.
so we don't need to showcase that equipment.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's my guess.
Yeah, I think your instinct I feel is right as far as showing people what the finished product will look like.
Yeah,
Because if they're new or they've never done it before, they need to know what the finished product will look like. And then you work your way back from there to talk about what you need to sustain it, how what you need to run it so that it looks like that.
yeah,
And
because we have run into problems now when I started now working for Aqualife and their clients also. I run into those problems because some of the clients really don't know what to expect,
yeah,
and they also get different things than they thought they would get. But
yeah,
it is what they had, uh, bought or with the other seller. Or how
yeah,
you explain? Sorry, sometimes it's
yeah.
difficult in English.
No,
But
it's okay.
anyway, you understand what I want to say. So
Yeah, yeah,
so those clients. Then you run into problems, and then you need to do your best to get them how you say
yeah.
that, happy again.
Happy again. Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
So I don't want to in later stage run into those same problems, so that when they order, because that's what we want to do, we want to start with the tank and do the whole from scratch, build it to end,
yep, yep,
we also do, because most of the times it's projects for companies, or hospitals, that they have a big tank in the waiting rooms and stuff like that, so we
yep,
also need to do the maintenance and everything.
yep.
So if they know what they can get or see what they get, that's much easier, I think. There'll
Oh
be no
yeah.
surprises.
Expectations matter
Mm.
a lot. Yep. We just had Lynn Reefnerd pop in. I'm gonna
Oh, hi,
bring Lynn
Lynn.
in. Yep, she's got some new stuff going on. She got another tank.
Yeah, she always have new stuff going on.
Yeah. Hey,
Oh,
Lynn.
that's pretty.
Hey,
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good.
Good.
Can you guys hear me at all?
Yep. Yep, we
Yeah,
can
yeah.
hear you.
Yeah. Let's see.
Nice.
How do I see myself? I can't see myself here.
We see a beautiful tank.
Yeah, we see your tank. Is your camera facing forward? And you want it?
I can't see it big enough. I just see a little tiny thing on this side here.
Yeah. Yeah, it looks good. Oh, there we go. Ooh, is this?
I added these two tanks.
Oh boy.
Nice.
Oh,
Nice.
yeah. So this is just the low boy. Did a little drill for the e-shop, the medium e-shop.
Okay. Yep. Yep.
And then this is Sephora 80 gallon.
Oh yeah. Okay.
Yeah, somebody was selling it on our local club, so I just grabbed it.
Yeah, that's a nice size. I like the depth of that, like up and down. What is that, like
those are good
16?
dimension.
Yeah, nice.
80 gallon. I know it's 48 by 24, but I can't remember the height. I think it's 18.
Very nice.
You're really filling that room now. Yeah.
So, yeah, I keep buying stuff, so I kind of needed room to add more.
I
So
always
these
see
two-
on Instagram, I always see a new this, new this, new. I think, oh, she keeps getting new stuff.
So, you have to have space, so I ended up having to add a couple more tanks.
Yeah. You need to use all space you have, of course.
Yeah, of course.
So this is just for I don't know if you guys can see them.
Oh,
Move it over. Got all my ganies.
Oh, nice.
I love that you
Very
have an
nice.
Astorina starfish on your viewer. That's so cool.
Can't get them up. There you go. Oops. I hate
Oh, it's
those guys.
inside. It's
It was
inside.
Yeah, I picked it out the tank. Where do I leave it? Inside here.
Crunchy. Looks nice.
Yeah.
Just for boarding.
Yep. Coral Hoarders Anonymous. And are these all plumbed together, Lynn?
This one, this guy, and then my 45 is plumbed together.
Nice.
So
Yeah,
it's a
'cause
little messy.
We
We're
were
just
talking
talking,
about that.
yeah, about different systems and maintenance.
And you can see my nest.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it's behind the stand, so it doesn't matter.
Doesn't count.
My other
Yeah.
nest.
Okay. You
And
know.
puppy dogs.
Oh, that's
Oh my God,
a puppy.
oh man, he's got big. Chewy. It's so cute.
Chewy.
Playtime. Oh, am I on camera? Oh, hi people.
And this guy and this guy. This is a 40 or 65. This was the old low boy, or it used to be low boy, I think,
Yeah,
and became Sephora. So this is the older model.
right.
There's my dosing jugs because I still don't know how to use a calcium reactor.
And your CAMOR needs synchronization as to time. I recognize that flash.
Yeah. So I put in a T5 and it keeps turning off my light. So now I have to upgrade my box to a 200 amp.
Oh
So
boy.
so in a few weeks I have to do that. And
Yeah.
that's not fun. But
You won't regret it though, having all that
Just-
extra. Yeah.
Yeah, T5 with the alley bars I'm running, and then this guy is just the XR30 and the alley bars.
Right.
Are those
Nice.
just the alley bars on there running right now?
Yes.
Those are cool. Color looks great.
Oh, hey, One Golf Jones. Sup, y'all? What did I miss? LOL. Looks like I have to watch the replay. Yeah, we've been going at this all afternoon. Cool. This looks good. This is your torch collection and some chalices and SPS. Nice.
They were running out of space, so I took some over to the other hoarding tanks, and then
Yeah.
these are the ones that get to stay.
Cool. Is that a Cinerina right there? The orangey colored one?
This one?
That one, yeah. Is that Cinerina? Yeah, it looks like it.
So I can never
Nice.
pronounce it. It's like a CN.
Yeah, Cinerina.
Signorina.
Cinerina. Like Cinderella,
Cinerina.
except Cinerina.
Well, looks like a Cinderella. Hey,
Nice.
I have to go soon, Cindy. So,
Okay.
but there was one thing I just, sorry to interrupt, that
That's
I
okay.
just wanted to show. I don't know.
Oh,
Let's do this.
Have you ever seen LEDs like this?
No. Are they German?
No, no.
No.
can you show that again? What is that?
What is that?
Is that an LED?
It's LED, and this is now just how you say that, prototype picture.
Prototype. Oh.
We have built.
Cool.
Sneak peek.
I'm not gonna tell more.
Oh, okay. Oh, you're such a tease.
I have.
Where do we
I
put
have,
our name?
Wait. I have one more here, prototype. Wait,
Ooh.
I show because that's maybe easier to show because they are not on.
Okay.
So it's like bulbs, like
Yeah.
T5 bulbs, like,
Oh,
but it's
okay.
LEDs inside, and you can choose what colors, actinic or a UV, blue, white.
With an astonishing reflector, kind of like metal halides used to have.
Yeah.
Oh.
Looks like Christmas lights.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Yeah,
Okay,
and
we're gonna keep an eye on
they are 80 watts, so it's really really
okay.
strong lights. Yeah.
Nice.
So I'm testing them now, and yeah, soon I hope we can go further because now we are using a temporary app that exists, but normally for home lights, so it's not so easy to
the ramping
how you
up
say
and down
and stuff like that. So but so hope we can soon go on and
cool.
fix those stuff and see what
Do you
we can.
expect it to have the same coverage as the T5?
Yeah, and the blending, I don't know how the blending looks, but this one has of the normal reflectors, this see.
Yeah.
So we need to. I have noticed with the other light that it's better, but only those light bulbs are not separately. How you say that? You cannot.
They don't have channels?
No, that I don't know why they did that. They are in one channel. So I told them also now.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna name the manufacturer now, but that's not. This one is much better because this I can do separately the channels.
Right. Yeah.
But anyway, yeah.
Mr. DKH says, "Take my money."
It's the same. Like the UV is the same. Like in the Philips Coral Care.
Okay.
The same. How you say that? Nanometers. Or?
Oh yeah. Nanometers. So.
Yeah. What is it? I don't remember.
The blues run from I think 370 up to about 470 maybe.
Yeah, and the UV
is sub 380, I think.
Yeah, 380.
Is considered,
or 390. Or...
Yeah, something like that.
So is it like a panel and then you buy the bulbs individually?
Yeah, it's going to be like we want to try and make something so you can choose what bulbs you want, and you can create a little bit like your own light, or your own spectrum also, and yeah.
Wow, that looks interesting. That and is it a Dutch inventor, manufacturer, or is it German?
It's it's I don't know. It's a really known manufacturer here. It is. I don't know how it's not Philips, but I also love Philips. But probably later on when you know the name.
Yep.
I
I'm
don't know
thinking
how
of
long it will take, but
I'm thinking of a couple, but yeah, no, good. That's cool. Live stream exclusive sneak peek at a European LED style light, LED light,
yeah,
T5 LED style halide reflector combo light.
yeah. When they
That
came to me with it, I looked at them and I think, what? Is it LED? Yes, it's LED. I
yeah,
was really surprised.
that is interesting.
Jim is gonna get so excited.
I know, right?
Yeah.
He's going to get his hands on one and take it apart.
No, but anyway, I wanted to show that before I
Cool.
left. So
That's
yeah.
awesome. Thanks, Kevin.
So see you all later.
Yep. I'm glad you could come
Thank
on
you
today.
thank you for having me. It was fun.
Yeah. Cool.
Okay,
All right.
see you all
Take it
later.
easy.
Have a good one.
Yep.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Cool. All right. How do I do this? So, Lynn, we can put you back up full screen if you want, if you like.
Not sure. Do you guys have any other questions? Or?
Here we go. They come in different sizes. Oh, this looks like it's roughly 30 gallons. Is this one of the all-in-one tanks?
Yeah, this is the E170.
Oh yeah, the Red Sea. Yep.
But I took it out and I actually plumbed it to the sump here.
Right.
So it used to be
That's
all in
cool.
one.
Nice.
But I really hated the all in one. I don't like the back chamber. It's so hard to clean, and the original skimmer that came with it wasn't that great either.
Yeah, they're inaccessible. There's a lot of good in them, but that's only if you can run them in a really simple way. Because as soon as you start wanting to add any kind of equipment like a skimmer, it just gets harder and harder.
You're kind of like subject to the chamber size because not all skimmers will fit. In my BioCube I had to cut a bunch of stuff out so that I could fit my Tunza skimmer in the back chamber.
Okay,
that's
what
really-
is that? That
I
looks
want
like a
one.
leather. Looks
My
like a
friend
leather.
said that she got it from Canada, so they shipped it to her from Canada.
Yeah, you're allowed to ship across the border for
And I've never
softies.
seen a leather like this before.
Holy
That is
smokes!
so cool. I want one.
Yeah, she moved to Florida, and I'm babysitting it. Well, Coral's sitting it, and then I cut a piece for myself. Well, she allowed me to.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna send this back, but it's I've never seen something like this, and she got it from
That's
Canada.
beautiful.
So
Wow. And whereabouts in Canada, like Toronto area?
I did not ask.
Yeah.
Yeah, my geography skill is I know where Canada is.
Go outside and look north. Wow, that is really cool. It looks beautiful in there. It just kind of glows.
Almost reminds me of like a Garf bonsai, but a leather.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm hoping to grow it out locally so I can share with the folks here.
Yep. Yeah. And when it gets big enough, you could ship a piece back to Canada.
Well, that's true. Or I can meet up with you sometime.
Yeah. If the border ever opens. Yeah, I have a feeling there's going to be road trips once we're able to get back across the border without having to take COVID tests to get back in the country, because I'm not doing that.
My most expensive fish.
Oh, your yellow tang. Did you just get him?
No, he's been with me for a while.
Yeah. I got my purple tang for under $100 Canadian. That's like 45 cents American.
Really?
No,
Wow.
really, it's about I think $80 American is about $100 Canadian, and my purple tang was just under 100.
So
And
this
he's
is
doing well.
Dragon Soul.
Yeah, you have these swirly tentacles. That is really interesting.
I don't like the new dragon soul these days. Like the old school dragon soul. This
Yeah,
guy's been around, yeah.
I wouldn't know what that even looks like. You tell me colors, I'll know. Oh,
I cut my full
these
tilt.
are nice. Very nice.
Oh, those are pretty.
Oh, there's a Fu Manchu, or is it dwarf fuzzy?
Fuzzy.
Yeah, cute. I've considered that, but apparently they'll eat anything that'll fit in their mouth, so you can't have small fish.
They're actually pretty good. I have clowns. I have Chester goby. I haven't
Oh,
touched
yeah.
Chester goby. Yeah.
Oh,
Those are really small.
He seems pretty chill. I mean, I feed him a lot, so he's usually pretty lazy.
Yeah, I have heard that about lionfish. If you drop food in front of them, then you don't need to worry about them going after anything else. Hello, puppy. Yeah, what is he, 6 months old now?
Yeah. And he's going to be about 80 pounds full grown.
Yep, our yellow lab was 80 pounds. Well, 77. He was a big dog. He hated getting his toes wet.
Oh, that's kind of interesting for a lab.
Yep. Well, you could get him in water, but off the patio onto the wet grass, nuh-uh. Oh, that's pretty.
man, that's really pretty.
I think this is the TSA.
Transportation and Safety Association? Just kidding.
That's the Coral Cruise.
That's what mine looks like. Has it got blue tips or pink tips?
Blue.
Blue. Well, mine has pink.
That's beautiful.
Yep, very inspirational.
I wish I had better luck with torches.
They seem to like flow, a lot of flow.
I think that was my problem before, is I wasn't giving it enough flow because I wanted that soft swaying motion, and I don't think they like it that much.
Giving clam one more try.
Yeah. Yeah, CJ had a theory about torch flow, and he felt if it came up from the bottom, it displayed them really well, and it was healthy for them because it helped remove anything that might settle on them and get it out and away. And so he had his flow set up to come across, go down the glass, and then travel up. I think he had gyres. And then it would travel up and pick up the tentacles of the torch. And you know who else is Phil, Reefkeeper?
Oh, yeah.
I feel like he wrote the book on getting torches to dance.
Gosh, that one on the right side of his tank is just unbelievable. I think he calls it Dave's torch or something like that.
It's gorgeous. Yeah.
Oh.
I think that's his Todd's torch.
Todd, that's it. I knew it had some sort of plain name to it.
Nice.
Yeah, it's just my really, really busy room.
Love it.
Oh, my new 3D printer.
Oh, cool. Yeah, I saw you printed those legs for the frag racks.
What are you printing right now?
I am printing a the grip for 1911.
What's a 1911?
The handgun.
Oh, okay. Yep. I thought maybe it was a car. No, that's the 911. That's a Porsche.
I can't afford a Porsche. I can afford a 1911.
You can't afford anything. You got a fish room with all those reef tanks.
Just busy, really a lot of stuff.
Yeah. But you know what? I bet you know where everything is, don't you?
Somewhat. I try to be organized, but yeah.
Like as soon as I clean up, I can't find a damn thing.
Yeah, like I mean, I keep my my husband won't let me keep fish stuff in the real freezer and fridge, so I have to have my own freezer here for the fish stuff.
It's so strange, eh? I've heard guys say their wives freak out if they keep fish food in the freezer. I don't understand it. It's not like it's open, like it's in a bag, right?
Yeah.
Well, I have live blackworms and stuff, and I think he just gets creep out.
Oh, live. Okay, maybe if it's live, that might be a little bit different. Oh, hey, the Reefer, welcome. The Reefer says, oh my God, whose tank are we looking at? You're looking at one of many that belong to Lynn Reef Nerd, and you can follow her on Instagram and see the daily fire. Oh, and K Reef's real happy because he just saw his sticker, Lynn.
Oh, yeah. Let me move some stuff. My little collection.
Nice.
Oh, I see the Billy Pipes one. That's cool.
Coolio. I have one from Murphy's Aquatics. That's the Ultra Platinum Edition. I have them safely stashed. Ah, yes.
Nice.
Nice.
Got some stuff on the sides and everything. But I started some more on the water station. So, I don't know. Let me see if I can show you guys here. Might be a little bit of a mess. So I'm really sorry about this. But that's the
Hey,
water
listen,
station.
we're used to looking at Alex's basement in his workshop, so.
So I have another buddy of mine locally. He broke down some tanks and he sold me these two. These are two 200 gallons.
Nice. Yep.
I set this up.
So you've got all of this in your basement?
No, this one is in the garage. So I have like a split level. So that's
Oh, right.
Yeah. And this, just keep it insulated for the salt water.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
That's
Red
cool.
Sea.
Nice.
Yeah, that's what I use too.
By the sack.
One of my favorite.
Battle coral.
Yeah. But yep. I'm back in.
Very nice.
Hey, Kylie.
When we were looking at houses to move, because we knew we wanted to move and we wanted something that would work with an aquarium, the best layout houses were split level because of how you could arrange things to have access from the ground floor and also access from the basement.
Yeah.
Well, we ended up with a bungalow, but but split level was very high on the list.
I just grabbed this chalice. I don't know if you guys can see it.
Oh.
Hard to see. Maybe.
Orange. That's cool. My chalices that were receding are doing extremely well in the holding system. And one of the things, the other jobs I have to do before my tank comes is get the par measurements from down there so that I know what to aim for when the stuff that's doing well, so that I can put it in the right kind of lighting to do well up here. Marcus Aerolus says, big old everyday mess. Yeah. And yeah. Lynn, your fish room looks like mine. I hear you, Cindy. When you clean, I can never find anything. That's Marcus Aerolus.
You guys haven't seen my basement. It gets worse. I don't know if I want to go down there right now.
And the Reefer says his house is split level and all his tanks are on the bottom. Cool. Yeah, I love how you got them stuck on the glass back there. That is really neat. Those are Cyphastria, if I remember.
Yes,
or Leptocera.
Yeah, Cyphastria, and then I accidentally got a Monty on there, and it just never stopped. I got one more Monty, or one more Cyphastria I want, but I haven't found one locally yet. So.
Which one are you looking for?
Looney Tunes.
I have Looney Tunes. It's the one with the dark green with red polyps, right?
I can't remember. It's like a more rainbow color, but they seem really sensitive for me because I've killed them, I think, once or twice already.
Yeah,
so.
yeah. I have a Party Crasher and a copper which is like a rusty brown color with bright orange, orangey
one.
pink.
Is it that one? Hard to
The
tell.
Party Crasher? My Party Crasher's like a teal
Oh, no,
teal
the
skin.
copper?
Oh, the copper's dark brown with bright orangey pink polyps, the one that I have.
I have
Is that
the only one I have is it's called a Halloween one. It's like purple with like green rims around the polyps,
ooh,
and
cool.
then like an orange center.
Neat. Yep, Reefing with O, that's Lynn.
Hey.
Oh, we lost Lynn. Oh, she's back. There we
I
go.
don't know if you can see it. Yep.
Yep. I'll put you up
No.
full screen. Oh, we're in the basement.
Yeah, this is my hoarding department. It's all my books.
It looks pretty organized.
Yeah.
That's part
Are
of
those Julian Sprung's books?
it.
Yeah.
Some of them. I got it signed by him too.
Oh,
The
nice.
Reef Aquarium.
Yeah. Yeah, 3 volumes. I have that. Next time I go to Reefapalooza, I'm going to take them with me and get him to sign them for me. Oh, you're ready in the
I have
RODI
enough to last
department.
me for years.
Yep.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
Yeah.
But you know what? I feel better mentally when I know I have lots of stock of stuff that I need all the time. I just get a little bit anxious when I start running out of stuff like that. Oh yeah, Marcus Aerolis
Like I have
says
a random calc stir.
Marcus Aerolis is saying you need some branching cyphastria. I have branching cyphastria and I love it.
That's on my list too. Branching
Yeah, I have the pink one.
Yeah, the pink.
Nice.
I've
If
only
you
ever
guys are
seen.
in the U.S., just hit me up if you're in the U.S. I have a big pink one. Here's my calcium reactor that still needs to be set up.
Yep. So which system will you put it on? I guess wherever you've got the most water.
I was gonna put it on the Acros one, just because I think that's gonna be my most used one.
Yeah,
so
that makes
let me
sense.
see if I can find. So my branching, I had a branching cyphastria. Where did I put it? Oh, here we go.
Yeah,
This
mine
guy
is
right
a pinky
here.
green, and the polyps are like fire red.
Oh, that's pretty.
Oh, mine, my polyp. Yeah, it's like a pink with reddish. Yeah, if you guys are in the U.S., just let me know. You can come by, or if you just pay for shipping, I'll ship you a nice piece.
Yeah, because Lynn, you're in Maryland, are you?
Yes, ma'am.
And Garrett, you're
I'm
in
near
Oregon.
Baltimore, Maryland.
Cool.
Ooh,
yeah, I'm in Oregon. So yeah, I will definitely hit you up.
Yeah, I used to live in Salem.
Oh, did you? Huh.
Yeah, yeah. My cell phone number is still 503.
Oh, nice. It's gotten so bad they created a new one. My area code's 971 now.
Wow, I remember when it used to just be 7 digits.
Oh, me too.
yeah, that's right. 7 digit. Wow. But yeah, I can cut a decent piece for you if you just let me know.
Yeah, that would be awesome.
And if you want Aptasia, plenty.
Oh yeah.
No chart. No chart.
And I have like 3 different kinds of mummy eyes.
Aptasia free.
I'm sorry?
I've actually been Aptasia free for about a year now, so I'm pretty happy about that.
Yeah, I've been moving my copper band around. So he gets one tank done, and then I move him to the next, but then the one he lit sprout back up again. No, they just never go away.
Yeah, like a constant rotation.
Cool.
Alright. I'll probably put the phone down, Cindy.
That's okay. Let's put Garrett up here. I was looking at this earlier, Garrett, all of your big Sinularia.
Oh yeah. They're crazy.
They are nice.
Thanks. Yeah, I'm just kind of waiting to, see one of the LFSs in my area. He's opening up a new shop. He's changed locations, so he's waiting for the coral system to kind of establish before he takes any in. So I'm gonna get rid of at least one of these in this display, so I'll kind of have like just one there, and kind of do more of a variety of
Right.
leather and stuff in this one. But yeah, it's looking good. There was one back here that that one's been closed up for a few days now, but it's looking a lot better. I put it into a higher flow, so it was able to slough off its skin, and polyps are starting to pop back out now. So
Yeah, I think you showed us that last week, and it was kind of slumped over. It looks
yeah,
good.
yeah, thanks. Yeah, it's starting to get better. But
Yeah, it's a
yeah,
funny thing with leathers, eh? Like they can be temperamental, but once they get happy, they just
you
take
can't
off.
stop. Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
stop them once they get their momentum going. It's just crazy how fast they can grow.
Yeah.
This Galaxia on this one is I thought it was a goner, but it's actually starting to look pretty happy now. It's
Mhm.
kind of cool. I got this one from the Oregon coast, and it's like a little barnacle. You can't really see it, but
Oh yeah.
I'll take this side off. But yeah, I used to have a little it was a Hector goby,
Oh
and
yeah. Yep.
he would hide in there and find his way around. Let's see if I can. Do you see those polyps in the back? That's the one I found. I thought they
Oh,
were
the
goners.
zoanthids. Yeah.
Yeah,
Just very, very faint light area.
yeah.
Huh. Yeah, I have a
But,
barnacle, and it's waiting for I'm gonna be getting another Midas Blenny, and
oh,
I'm
nice.
putting it in the new tank, and that's the plan because Elvis absolutely loved his barnacle, and it was really fun to watch.
Yeah, I kind of want to get like another type of Galaxia to kind of go around it. There's a really cool one that's like kind of purpley and yellow
Oh yeah.
that I'd like to find, so I can kind of get them all isolated on that one.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, because then you can move them away if they start getting too aggressive.
yeah, if they start coming out, then sweeping and killing stuff, and
Yeah.
that's when you can just move them. This one's doing really well.
It looks good. It's really vibrant.
Yeah, it's really colored up. I've really been trying to feed a lot of variety of like foods to it, mainly because of this yellow sea cucumber.
Yeah.
I've been rotating out, so I'll do like a barrier reef labs one day, and then like Gonio power one day, benefits one day, and then also have reefroids too. So that's been seeming to help
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, because you never really know what exactly, like where they came from, what was there.
Yeah, it's hard to
Hmm.
kind of see, but yeah, it's doing great. This my tang keeps on, like, there's a small little slit right here, and he'll actually go inside. There's like a little area down here, and he'll just kind of hide down there until, you know, it's safe.
Yeah.
She thinks to come out. But
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I've noticed a big change in behavior with my two tangs together. And sometimes I think the purple tang is actually being aggressive towards the Desjardins, but I don't think that's what it is. I like they swim around together all the time, and you would think if the purple was bullying the Desjardins would avoid him,
Yeah.
but he
Yeah, you
doesn't.
think so.
They hang together, and I'm starting to think the notches out of the Desjardins' lower fin are from the clownfish.
Oh,
Because, yeah, I've never ever seen the purple go after him that way. And I wouldn't be at all surprised if the Desjardins is up by the algae clip if the clownfish goes after him. So I have to find a different place to put that algae clip where it's not quite so close to the clownfish territory.
yeah, this branching GSP has really taken off. I'm loving it. It's all encrusted onto the rock right here, and I'm already starting to see like new branches come off. So
Yeah, is that what those white popsicle stick looking things are?
yeah, like that, like right there.
Yeah.
That's a new branch. You can't really see it until it's lights out and it retracts all of its polyps. But yeah, there's like a little branch underneath here that's coming out, and then one right here that's coming out too. So
Yeah, at the top. And so the branches, how do the polyps come out all along the length of it, and how long do they get?
they get pretty long. Um, it's hard with the glare right here, but the polyps are actually popping out a good maybe inch and a half
Mhm.
from the actual branch,
Oh,
and
wow.
it's uh, so it's kind of like a half circle that the branches grow in, and
Mhm.
then they I think they kind of um, meet up to make the full circle, but it's really neat.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I don't think I've ever seen one up close like this before. I mean, I've heard of them.
Mine doesn't get like that tall. Mine just kind of flatten out a lot. Maybe it's like a different kind too. Might have
Yeah,
to look for this one.
yeah, I got this one from Coral Collectors. Um, they I got actually most of these from them. The Milka Stylo, and then there's Birds of Paradise Stylophora, and then
Excuse me a second, guys. Continue.
okay,
Just
and then this Chain Reaction, and then the Fiji leather in the back there.
Yeah. I'm looking at getting one from he's also on Instagram, Tran Fan Reef. He takes beautiful pictures and his looks similar to yours. I was gonna buy a piece from him.
I haven't heard of him. I'll have to check him out. But yeah, this one was like I think like $15 or something. Um, they do like Facebook live sales, and since I don't have Facebook, my girlfriend got on one one time and was able to get a lot of like really good pieces from them. I only had one casualty, and it's probably my own fault. It was a bottle brush acro that I just didn't like where I put it. I might have put it in too high of a light, but
I've been to their live sale. They have some really nice stuff.
they really do. And the frags that come are like super chunky too, which is always nice. I
I
also
just
got
don't have the patience to go through 200-300 of them.
yeah. Yeah, they actually sent a few freebies too. I got this pagoda cup coral, which is really cool, and then they also threw in this red digitata, and then there is some rainbow incinerators up on top of that rock that they threw in there as well. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
I never.
I've heard they were really good. Just never had the chance to buy stuff from them, just because I can't sit for hours going through the live sale.
It is, yeah, it gets like 3 or 4 hours in the live sale, and they have like, easily 100 corals. So you really got to block out the time to dedicate to it to, kind of find the piece that you want. And you can also go through their, like rewatch them and hit them up for the particular pieces that you want. And they'll work with you on that too. So super nice couple though. They just do it out of their garage, and I think they got a new build going on too to expand.
I mean, I think they were showing their system at one of the show, and it's really simple. They just have, I think, a couple of them have just black boxes and.
Yep, black
really,
boxes,
really
and they do a lot of T5s. I think they run on a lot of their systems too. So
yeah, it's like super simple. Their corals, their acros just look amazing.
Oh yeah.
So
I definitely want to get some more, like at least like one acro for my Fiji cube. But I'd like to try some acros in here too.
Yeah, but yeah, Garrett, just send me a message. I'll just pay for shipping. I'll send you a couple stuff to try.
Yeah. Oh, that'd be awesome. Thank you.
Another Oregonian.
Yep.
Yeah.
Support Oregonian.
That's right. That's right.
Not Oregon.
Not Oregon. Oregon.
Oregon.
People are so particular about like certain pronunciations. Like there's this street in Portland, and when you look at it, it looks like couch, but you're actually supposed to name it or pronounce it Cooch Street.
Yeah, I can see why people might not want to say that.
Yeah.
I just like our boring Oregon.
Right?
Oh,
hey,
Fletcher,
and we have the last Blockbuster on Earth. I just visited it in Bend, Oregon.
And do they have? Do they actually still rent stuff like DVDs?
Yeah.
Or
They still rent it, and I actually saw a post that someone they did like a B&B for someone, and they got this bed and decked it out all in like 90s Blockbuster bed sheets and stuff. So it was kind of cool. Like, if I had the money, that would be kind of a fun experience, because you go in there and it's that old Blockbuster smell. I don't know, it just has a smell to it. It's
acetate.
Oh,
it's acetate from the VHS tapes. That's what it is, I guarantee.
Yeah.
Has a very distinct odor when it's old.
Yeah, it was a good time.
Kind of like getting to go for a sleepover at a Ripley's and sleep in the shark tunnel.
Yeah.
Yeah, they do that for kids. I sometimes think, man, I'm an adult. I would love to do that.
Right.
What are these two corals, Garrett, below the green Monty on the right? The two mounds.
Oh, these are leptostraeas.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. The polyps are really big.
They are huge. And they only got this way when I put them like this, and they had the super high flow on them.
Oh, I have to remember that.
They just puffed up like no other, and I was losing this one. It was receding big time, and since I moved it, all the recession ended, and it started to grow over the old skeleton. And there's like that was like right here, that was down to like 1 or 2 polyps, and now it's just encrusting, and I'm wondering what it's going to do with the Astreopora.
Oh, that's
Um,
right. I thought it was a Monty, but yeah, I see now.
Yeah, same family, but
Yep.
yeah,
Yep.
I'm kind of wondering if once they go to battle, who's going to be the winner. So I'm just going to kind of let it go. There's not really anything I can do about it. But
No. I have two of those side by side. One is, I think, called Blueberry Fields, and it's lime green tentacles with dark blue centers. It's really attractive. And the
oh,
other
that's
one
cool.
is, yeah, it is really pretty. And the other ones, I think they call it John Deere because it's yellow and green. So it's
Yeah, I've
green.
seen that one. Hmm.
Yeah, so green tentacles like dark emerald with yellow centers. And they're growing towards each other. I don't know if they're gonna. I don't know what they'll do when they reach each other, but they're encrusting on rock, so they haven't developed this sort of ball shape.
Yeah,
Interesting.
yeah, these are like kind of touching too. They're almost touching, but yeah, these are both worldwide corals. This is a burning Leptostrea, and then this is the frozen Leptostrea.
Right.
And so
Yeah.
I was kind of going for the whole fire and ice Game of Thrones type of
Yeah.
you know
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
going on. But I'd like to get another Leptostrea, maybe like that Blueberry Fields you were talking about, and put it like
Yeah.
right there.
That would be
Um,
cool.
because yeah, they really seem to like this, and I'm not going to change anything because I mean they just started like sparkling and getting these like kind of lines in the polyps that I hadn't seen before, and
Oh,
just
cool.
like super happy. Yeah,
Yeah, they obviously like there. That's
yeah,
hot.
yep. So I'm not going to do anything. And what's good too is that like when I feed, it'll be off the top, and the flow kind of comes from the back and comes down, so it'll catch a lot of the food um, when I'm feeding, and so a lot of them will catch food in their polyps, and same with this lithophyllon right here. It's been
Yeah,
catching a lot of food lately, and
cool.
this one's been growing a lot. I've seen about like a centimeter per week
Holy smokes.
grow on this, at which like before, like I've had this for about 2.5 years, and it's only encrusted over the plug, but since I have it in this higher flow, it's really started to get onto the rock and really take off. So I'm excited
That,
about that one too.
that's really good information about the flow though. I never would have thought of that.
Because you see a lot of these are like, they like lower light or whatever and low to medium flow, but as a suggestion, but I find that when they have the flow, their polyps really pop out a lot, and they just seem a lot happier.
Yeah. I think that I sent you that picture of my pagoda coral,
Yeah, I love
and
that one.
those polyps are at least an inch long, like the stems are at least an inch long. It's not in super high flow, and I really want to replicate the conditions when I move it into the big tank, because right now it's in the observation tank, and the light's kind of dim. The flow comes straight across the top, down the glass, and right into it. So I'm really hoping to be able to recreate that, because it has really, really started to grow. One whole edge is developing a whole bunch of new polyps.
That's awesome. So where did you get that pagoda cup coral?
I got it from a place called Incredible Aquarium, and it was in London, Ontario, which is about a couple hours west of Toronto. And that guy was really well known locally and had been in business for, oh, I don't know, I want to say 20 years.
Oh wow.
And I also got my Genicanthus angels from him. But unfortunately, that was in 2017. He had a crack develop in his 480-gallon display tank.
Oh no.
And he came into the shop the one day, and the water was down, like it wasn't a fast leak. The water was pouring out, but not super fast. And so he was able to save most of what was in there. But after that, he just never came back.
Dang.
He had a couple of other tanks and systems in there, but it was kind of in a storage unit, and you could go there by appointment to pick stuff up. So I got my Pectinia from him, the pagoda coral, my maze brain, the green maze brain that I haven't seen any others like it. It's big, like a lot of space between the walls. Usually they're small, like platygyra types.
Yeah. Huh.
And my Genicanthus angels, and he said people had tried to buy that pair of fish several times, the male and the female, but they were housed in different aquariums, and he could never catch the female.
Oh.
So it turned out when he had the tank issue, he had to get the female out of there because the water was disappearing, and the timing was perfect. I bought the pair, and I got the pair.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I saw, so that pagoda cup coral, I saw something similar to that on what channel was it? Fragbox.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And so I was wondering if you got it from them.
Yeah, I think it's quite possible he might have got it from Bill, the guy at Incredible Aquarium.
Yeah.
This is going back to, well, yeah, 2017. So 4 years ago, over 4 years ago now.
Are you guys talking about Fragbox TV?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I just started following him. He's pretty funny.
Yeah,
Yep,
Mark
March.
is hilarious. Yeah, I've been following him for I don't know, like 6 or 7 months now. But yeah, he's great. They do like daily videos pretty much, and just kind of, it's kind of a shoot and
Point and
talk
shoot.
about whatever. Yeah,
Yeah,
point
yeah.
and shoot, and just kind of, whatever comes into his head. And he's really smart, and he's been doing it for a long time.
Yeah, wish we have something like him in the store near us.
Yeah, what is the local fish store like in your area?
Well, 8 minutes away is House of Tropicals. Some of the, we have Blue Ribbon Koi, which is further down in Virginia. Dr. Mack, Pacific East? He's actually about 3 hours away from me.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And then we have Reef Escape. We have Supreme Reef. We have plenty of fish stores here, actually, but not a whole lot of like corals.
Yeah.
Yeah, most stores, you have a mix of salt and freshwater.
Yeah, the ones I have in my area are probably the biggest one is cuttlefish and corals.
Sounds so familiar. I think I followed him on Instagram.
Yeah, they always are posting some really, really nice pieces. And then there's also Paradise Corals, and then
you have Golden Basket there too.
Yeah, that's
cool. Yeah.
That's one that I really want to buy from. But right now they're doing like pickup only, so it's not, you can't go into the store or anything. But I really want to. Golden Basket Reef has some really awesome pieces that I want to try out.
Some nice stuff. I've been wanting to get an SBS pack from him. I still need to just sit down and pick like my favorite and just ask him for a pack.
Yeah.
Have you guys bought from Coral Euphoria online? Have you, Lynn?
I have not, but I love his videos.
Yeah, Abe, he's funny.
Oh yeah, my favorite is the one that he did on SPS.
I like the one he did where he dressed up as a ninja, and I forget what it was even about. I just remember him dressing up as a ninja.
That
was awesome. Hilarious.
He has like this really serious face, but then like
Yeah.
the content is funny. You're like,
Yeah. And the soft voice. He's got such a soft voice, but oh yeah. I think he's really an underrated channel. His stuff is great.
oh yeah. If like he's like, if whenever somebody asks about SPS, I usually tell them to go watch his videos.
Yep.
A lot of wealth of information with Abe. He really knows what he's doing, and he doesn't do anything like super complicated.
Nope.
You know, it's pretty basic. He doesn't
And-
dose a whole lot, except for I think like aminos from time to time.
Iodine, Ferron from Brightwell. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the way he plugs his like acros, if I ever build another tank,
Yeah.
that's how I would like to do it.
I know what you mean, the holes,
Genius.
and he can remove a whole colony. Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah, TSA I think does that too.
With pipes?
Yeah, with the pipes. Yeah, that's kind of cool.
But they're more like
but
grow
you know,
out.
yeah, they're more grow out. Where Abe's is like, if you just look at the tank, you're like, oh, well, that looks like a regular reef tank, but it's all modular, so he can take out these colonies one at a time. It's so cool.
Even his grow out frag tank, it's like an entire reef with like all rocks and scapes.
Yep.
Yep. Very cool. And there's another guy, if you were ever looking for videos on fragging, it's mesmerizing. I haven't seen anything from him in a while. He's called Reefgrrl 19.
Oh, I'll have to check him out.
Reefgrrl.
Yeah, Reefgrrl, I think all one word, REEFGLOW 19. I don't think there's any spaces.
He's the one that also have like Cyphatria in the back, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's so like I find it so fascinating just watching when he does his fragging videos. And I mean, you're sitting there for whatever 20 minutes, and he doesn't do any like jump cuts or spare you all the boring or whatever. Like, but you still want to watch.
Yeah. Travis does the same thing.
Yep.
With Monday frag stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. He does the frag and chill live streams, I think.
Yeah, I like the frag and chill.
Yeah.
He makes it look so easy. I'm always getting glue and I just get everything everywhere.
Same.
Yeah. I guess it's years of experience and plenty of experience, maybe.
Well, he has a lot of it with Big Bertha fragging everything for him, like on a weekly basis.
Yeah, no kidding. Oh, hey, Nano Joe. Glad you could make it.
Hey, Nano Joe.
Cool. Yeah, I think my husband's on his way home now from spending the day trimming trees where we used to live for one of the neighbors. So I think I should probably say good afternoon for the day, and maybe go take something out of the freezer since it's almost 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Although
dinner time for us.
Yeah, maybe if I don't take something out of the freezer, we'll get to go somewhere and have somebody else cook it.
Yeah, I got to do the same thing.
Yep. And I'm sure by now people's phones are running out of juice, because that always happens.
Well, thank you, Cindy, for letting me on today.
Oh, I'm really glad you came. It was great to
thank
see
you.
a tour of the fish room. I've been wanting that for quite a while, because the little bits and pieces we see, it's hard to put it all together. So
it's a mess.
Hey, listen, nothing we haven't lived through.
And you can see my extent of hoarding, not just fish and corals.
Yep. Yeah, it's really cool. And one of these days I'm sure we will get to meet in person. There will be a road trip or a show or something like that.
Yes, ma'am.
And it'll be nice to sit down and have a coffee or a drink together, and
maybe I can have a piece of that leather for you.
Oh, that would be cool. That'd be really cool. I'll have to find something you don't have.
Get it
bring
to
it
go
for
home,
you.
back home to Canada.
Yeah.
And Garrett,
cool.
message me on Instagram.
Okay.
Yeah, I will. Thank you.
Sorry. You and Garrett.
Have a good weekend, guys.
was going to say it
Thanks,
might be a
y'all.
couple
Have a good
years,
one.
but
Bye.
see you later.
Thanks, y'all.
Well,
Bye.
thanks everybody. Still have 18 people here, and I really appreciate all the time you guys have spent here today. It's been 4 hours. Wow. I keep thinking to myself, one of these days maybe I'll get back to a 2-hour live stream. But you know what? It's too interesting. There's just so much to see and so many people to talk to. I think it's awesome. So on that note, we will say goodbye, and next stream will be next Saturday, July the 31st at 8 p.m. Eastern. And I hope everyone has a great week. And watch Instagram. If my tank arrives, I will be putting something on there. Well, there's my cat. He probably wants something to eat too. And everybody take care of yourself. And Garrett, have a good week. And I'm a very loyal customer of Amazon. 53 orders in the last 60 days. So.
Oh, nice. You're keeping my paychecks coming. My daughter wanted
for
to say
sure.
hi.
Hi. What's your name?
Kerrigan.
Kerrigan. Oh, that's a cool name.
Yeah.
Cool. So do you help your dad with his reef tanks?
Yeah.
Good. So you're learning a lot, right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Especially starting language. No. Yeah. Maybe. And dinosaur.
Dinosaur, yeah.
Yeah.
And
Oh, that's cool.
And thank you. Yep.
All right. Thank you for spending the time here today. And we'll see you guys next time.
All right.
All right.
Bye,
Thanks,
Cindy.
Garrett. Good
Thanks,
night.
everyone.
So, bye, everybody. See you next week.